the shivering cradle of the north, beneath pale stars and frost-laced skies, a child shall draw her first breath. Upon her breast the mark shall burn deep, black, and ancient, the stain of the abyss. She is no ordinary babe, but born of dark blood, her veins thrumming with infernal sorcery, her soul tethered to realms where mortals dare not gaze. She will walk as a girl among men, yet the shadow will know her as kin. Her laughter will echo like a charm sweet and beguiling, but behind her eyes smolder a fire not lit by this world. As she grows, so too shall her power, until the veil between planes wears thin, and the beast of her blood press against the door. Should she come of age unchecked, she will call to her kin not in prayer, but in triumph. And they will answer, oh yes, they will come, on wings of flame and ruin, to walk once more in the daylight. Woe then to the realm of men, for suffering shall not descend like rain, but rise like flood, drowning all. Thus is it woven, thus shall it be, unless a blade finds her heart before the hourglass runs dry.
We're having a good time offline, everybody. It's been fun.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let Tim take it away.
Okay. Since I threw you off balance just a tad, so welcome to Trollord Games Summer of Siege, Castles and Crusades. I've got it right here. Beautiful books, amazing art, and just a real. I don't want to come off weird, but just an amazing platform to play on. Very simplified, so you can get right into the RP or right into smashing combat. So it's really awesome. On top of that, we've got 988 running. We broke 1,000 last week, which is awesome. It's a mental health awareness, suicide awareness platform where you can call or text 988 and you'll get specialized counseling for just about anything you're going through. My little pitch is if you're kind of feeling light blue to going towards dark blue, use it as a preventative measure. Get a hold of these guys when it's early and get the techniques and tools to brighten yourself up. So that's our pitch on that one. If you don't have the squanch to click the charity button, that's fantastic, because charity comes from the heart, in my opinion. IMHO. Pack 30 minutes out of your week, right, where you're driving home, stuck in traffic, pissed off, can't breathe, got hemorrhoids, but you just want to say, hey Mo, how you doing, right? And you go, and Mo says, I'm having a bad day, but you have 30 minutes of just listening to somebody. You'll save a life. All right, over to you, Jeremy.
Why do I have to be associated with hemorrhoids?
I was just gonna say, I like how he segued into Mo through hemorrhoids.
I mean,
I'm not judging.
Fine, but
I'm not judging.
I haven't talked about that in years. Okay?
But you are pissed off, can't breathe. You got that part, right?
Fair. Fair. So listen, we are running a giveaway tonight. We have two codes to give away. You can enter the giveaway simply by doing, I believe, !enter, but you can also do !ticket, leave a space, and put 1. You are limited to 1 ticket, so if you put 100, I think it's still only going to give you 1. But exclamation point ticket space 1, or just !enter, I think gets you in the draw. And if you're having problems, just put in chat, and then we'll figure it out together. Because this is the first time me running this here, and Skylar and I did a practice run for the giveaways, and it seemed to work. What you get is we'll just do a random draw at the end of the night, and you get $10 off in the Trollord Games online store off of PDFs. So go in there, find yourself a nice Castles and Crusades PDF, and knock $10 off the price. which makes the modules almost free, I think. Like if you
Just go back to this stream and like read that.
Yeah, absolutely. So $10 off, that goes a long way for some people. That might be the difference between you deciding to buy something and not deciding to buy something. So if you're curious about Castles and Crusades, there you go. And we'll do those giveaways at the end. We'll draw 2 names, and you don't actually have to stick around till the end when we draw it. If you win, I will message you through myself, or Stronghold will message you through the Twitch platform, and you'll get your code. Okay. We had a pretty busy week last week. We were just talking about like everything that happened. Brick was away. This week Coco is away. So, we're just doing some swap outs. A knight for a barbarian for a knight. I don't know if it's an equal trade, but we'll see. We'll see. Do we want to do a recap? Do you want me to kind of recap a bit? You guys tell me. Would that be helpful?
Maybe we could talk about it. Because
Okay.
maybe maybe Grenna comes around the corner, Coco takes a left. You know what I mean? And like,
Sure.
We're not going to believe what just happened.
Well,
Yeah,
let me ask
point.
you. Let me ask you and Silas and Vagard. Do you want to begin still being in Tesnol? Was there more you wanted to do there, or can we just begin you on the road rendezvousing with
I would
Brenna?
love for her to stay back and keep an eye on.
Yeah, we can say
That's
Thor
situation.
does that. I think
Yeah.
that's great. So can we then say that Silas and Vagard have departed Tesnol to rendezvous with Grenna? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So
2 guys on horses. 2 guys, 1 horse.
So the 2 guys, 1 horse. Don't watch the video. So you you are somewhere on the trail east of Tesnol.
Here is the
Grenna, you remained behind in Darkwood Abbey. We decide. I love the eyes. We decided that that maybe there was, a few other ceremonial things that had to occur before they were like, okay, you're a knight, get out. Okay. However, I will say that prior to leaving, Gran made sure that she said goodbye. She gave everyone in the party an apple, so she gives you an apple as well. The apple is the Castles and Crusade version of Goodberry. It's called Good Fruit. So if you eat the apple's good for 3 days, and if you eat it, it will restore 8 hit points. It will also take care of all your food and water needs for 2 days, and it will give you a +1 to all wisdom checks because it's an apple, and apples make you wise apparently.
If you held your tongue and say apple.
Have you done the pirate ship one? I was born on a pirate
Yeah,
ship.
yeah,
Of course. We have kids. We know what this is all about. Maybe you don't need kids actually to know what that's about. Okay, so you've departed and you've met the rest of the party on the road. Reminder: everyone does still have an apple, and it's still good. And also, I think there are 2 doses of black root, which Gran gave you, and they are basically like potions of armor. Like if chew on the black root, you get a +3 armor class for an hour.
Zucchini babies.
Zucchini babies. I stole the baby from you. Are you taking a pee-pee? Okay. So, we are sort of in... have I got everybody on the right map here? So, you guys have rendezvoused, and you are about here, right at the bend of the Darkwood River there. Okay? That's where the party has met. So, as you sit down, maybe it's probably too early to say you're making camp, but you've got a little bit of a ride ahead of you. So essentially, the party left Darkwood Abbey last time, had a little chat with Gran before leaving. Gran told you, I think it was Gran that told you, remember that the people of the lowlands, which is what you're headed into, still believe in sort of a lot of old ways, a little bit of fae worship that goes on, and you so to watch your P's and Q's around them. And then on your journey south, you noticed that there was a lot of storms to the south, not up in the highlands by Tesnol and Barrowdell and Darkwood Abbey, but as you were headed southward, you can see that like storm clouds were gathered over places like Grendel and Mistvale and the Bloodhorn Bog in the south. And then the party came across a farmstead that appeared ransacked and deserted. Upon further investigation, you found let's call them a husband and wife, and they had been the wife was dead. The husband was mortally wounded. Even a little bit of healing would not be enough to save him, but you could talk to him for a short while. And he told you that they took his daughter and left to the west. And then as you were talking to him, you were attacked. A group of roving madmen and women, or at least they appeared to be mad, attacked, not wearing any armor, just sort of bedraggled clothing that they've obviously been living in outside for some time. They attacked with simple weapons like scythes and sickles and clubs, slings, and there was about 10 of them, I believe, and you guys managed to defend yourselves and fight them off and win the day. And during that fight, I think poor little Jacques had a bit of a crisis when he killed someone for the first time. Anything you'd like to add to that section that you think I might have missed? As I'm painting in pretty broad strokes.
Yeah. I think I got a lot.
Good?
Yeah, the things that attacked as well, though, they also were drawn to my magic as well, so I do remember that.
Yeah, as soon as you cast a spell, they focused a lot of attention on you.
Yeah.
That's not... I don't want you to think too much into that, because that could simply be because spellcasters would be considered a threat. But...
Got it.
I also don't want you to, that's something to be considered. As you traveled west, following these people that took the farmer's daughter, you noticed that these were not sort of people on foot. These were horses, and a good number of them. You reached the village of Tesnol, only to find out from the guards that a group of Pale Blade, a contingent of the Order of the Pale Blade was there in town. Brother Jacob explained that he knows the mayor of said town quite well. His name is Roman, and he's a soldier once serving the king, and not a king's guard, but like a veteran soldier. And he's the town's mayor. You guys chatted with him. He informed you that, yes, the Pale Blade were there, and yes, they brought in a girl, but they had turned the girl over to the orphanage there in town. Then a group of you went to talk to said girl that had been... there were some signs that the mayor's house had seen the plague when the plague had been here, as there was an old white cross on the door, and the white cross is sort of a sign of plague. You noticed an absence of him having a partner of any kind, but he does have two daughters. Kayla, who is 16, and Tala, who is 11, who Vagard made sure stayed well away from Jacques, protecting his innocence. which was kind of funny. Thora kind of encouraged it, though. I'm just saying. So Thora and Jacques stayed to guard the house, and everybody else went to the orphanage. And then upon reaching the orphanage, you found a young girl named Ivania. She's about 14. She had a birthmark, basically, like a wine mark, a wine color, sort of that purpley color that went across a bit of her chest and then wrapped around under her arm and onto her back. And you guys had asked what happened. She implied that the mad men and women that you had fought, that a group of them had attacked the farmstead, and when her father went out to defend them, that's when the Order of the Pale Blade showed up, and the Order of the Pale Blade sort of did away with everybody there, and including her mother and her father, and then brought her here, and that they had taken a piece of her skin from her back prior to giving her over to the orphanage. So there was lots of conjecture, talk about what that could mean, and then you decided Vhagar would go and talk to the Inquisitor of the Order of the Pale Blade and find out what's up. So Vhagar did that. He learned the strength of the Order of the Blade. The Order of the Pale Blade is about 30 armored. I don't want to call them knights, but armored men-at-arms. They are mounted. And he met with an Inquisitor Reese. And Inquisitor Reese basically said that she was in the area because of the prophecy, trying to track down the child mentioned in the prophecy. She implied that perhaps the child is older than they realize, that maybe the prophecy was delayed in reaching you. And she told Vhagar that she would cut every child from here to Kingsgate if that's what it took to find. There was also some talk about the Bloodhorn Bog, and I forget who told you this. It might have been, I don't think it was Grand, but there was some talk, because we mentioned this before we came online. There was some talk about some powerful fae in the bog, one of which being a hag known as Green Gwen.
We didn't get the name, but at the end of the first episode, there was definitely, like, when we were inquiring about what happened to them, they were like, "Yo, there's a witch. There's like a witch in the forest."
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay."
Drax,
I do remember
Raider,
that.
Gwen, Drax.
Yeah.
Drax told us this. Anyways, this is Mo and I on the horse, like right before we get to where we're blinking over Gwen. Like, was it Drax? There's so much that happened.
Yeah, the Inquisitor had sort of a right-hand man named Drax.
Yeah, that guy was a
Also
real
learned-
roid freak, wasn't he? You know what I mean? Like, punk.
Very interested about the disease as well. Remember they were getting like some sort of disease.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was talk that like the people that attacked you at the farm, there are large numbers of people that have sort of gone a little kooky. That are, is kooky the right word? Probably not. But there is some sort of illness of the mind happening to lots of people in the lowlands. Like there's some sort of, they described it as a mind disease that is causing people to sort of.
Similar.
Yes, you made you made a comparison to Brother Graydon. Yes, correct. So, as far as I know, the plan is still ride to Grendel, stable the horses in Grendel, and then make your way to the Bloodhorn Bog and into it to try and find this temple to Istus that Brother Graydon had gone to find. Okay?
Yeah, we're trying to. Is the goal to recover the people? That's what we're still trying
well,
to do, or
they're
we're just going there to see what's weird.
Yeah. So it's twofold. There is, you do have someone from your let me find
Shrine of Istus. We're going to the Shrine of Istus.
Yes. Yes.
I remember that. I just wasn't sure if we were going for recovery of people or if there was another reason why we also had to go. Because I know that they said that there was somebody that
from your order, Brick, Steven the Humble had traveled with Brother Graydon to the temple, and they did have a small escort of men at arms and women. They their party was about 10 in number.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anything else that we'd like to just clarify before we jump into things here? I don't mind doing this. I would rather you guys have sort of. So if there's anything else, we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Let's get some. We'll get some music rolling and.
James.
One last shout out to chat because I see we have some more people in here now. If you would like to enter for a $10 gift card to the Troll Lord Games online store that can be used towards PDFs. We have 2 to give away tonight. You just have to do !enter, or I think !ticket1 will get it for you, or just !ticket. And we'll make those draws at the end of the night. You do not have to be here at the end of the night. We will we'll reach out through Twitch to the winners and make sure you get your codes for the store. Okay, let's do this. We'll get that rolling.
Having this one, I could say, yes, Dirty Dwarf, I am playing a paladin. Are we in yet? Are we, like, no wire hangers? I mean, over the music. Okay, that's it. I'm dropping in.
We're in.
Salty voice.
Oh, my PDF viewer. Dang you. I hope that doesn't ruin everything here. Okay, so you continue down the trail south along beside the Darkwood River towards Grendel. And you see many farmsteads like the one that you encountered previously. Not all of them like deserted and sacked, but similar in like sort of a cottage-like dwelling, a barn. There's probably some fields. Things like that, and you get the sense of that this is very rural country in the kingdom. Okay? The river is always somewhere off to your east. Sometimes the trails lead you right close, and other times not so much. But there is no sort of dedicated road to Grendel. The main road that comes south stops at Tesnal and doesn't go any farther. So you travel all day, and you sort of are about halfway now. You will make Grendel in good time tomorrow, well before nightfall. But you're starting to keep an eye out for somewhere where you can camp. As the last rays of sunlight fade into violet dusk, the party crests a low hill and spies a curious figure ahead. Bent with age, cloaked in threadbare gray robes, an old woman walks slowly along the trail's edge. She mutters to herself in nothing that's coherent. They sound like broken phrases. Her gnarled hand releasing small white stones, one by one, like breadcrumbs. She doesn't startle at your approach. Instead, she turns with a distant, cloudy gaze, and you can tell that she is likely mostly, if not entirely, blind. As you ride towards her, you hear her say, "The threads twist tighter now. I must trace the path. The lost path of Istis." Her voice trembles, half wind, half prayer. She doesn't try to stop you.
I'll dismount.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the horse, but I'm gonna make a little bit of a wide berth so that I can kind of see if there's anything coming in while they're talking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll kind of pause on my horse, but kind of be at the ready, like, just my hand up.
Yeah, brother Jakob pulls his pony to a stop with a little bit of help from Jacques, because he's a horrible horseman, and Jacques helps him steady his. Jacques steadies his pony as well as the brother's pony. Yeah, go ahead, Vagard.
Adam, it's late. How can I be of service? Oh, you hear me? I'm sorry to startle you. We're just 5 adventurers on our way to Grendel. We're preparing to camp. Are you hungry? I'll look over at Mox.
She runs her hand down to her sort of midriff, almost like she's just considering now, is she hungry? And she says, yes. Almost half surprised. Yes. Camp. Food. Of course. Of course.
We'd be honored to have you dine with us. And
Do I?
kind of look over at you guys and give you a wink. And
She starts walking towards you, Vhagar, with her hand out, almost like she's reaching, like she's not sure the distance between you and her. But she does walk towards you. It's not like she's entirely blind and doesn't know where you are.
Yep. Yeah, I'll let her recognize me.
Okay. She puts a very gnarled and twisted hand, clearly arthritic, with the big old bulging knuckles and everything, and she sort of pats armor. Are you some sort of warrior, some sort of knight?
Yes, my apologies. Vhagar of the Fleur-de-Lis of His Majesty.
The Fleur-de-Lis? This far into the lowlands?
Sometimes we visit.
The threads twist in mysterious ways these evenings.
From the top of my horse, I think I'm going to yell down at that point. What do you mean just this evening? Seems like it's been going on for quite some time.
It seems the threads of hers tend to always be running a little slack these days, don't they?
Aye.
She looks not at you, but sort of in your direction, and Jacques like, should we make camp then here, Vhagar?
Please, Jacques, break camp or make camp.
So he gets brother Jakob dealt with first and down off his pony, and then he himself begins to scramble together to make camp and build a fire and things like that. The old woman finds a place to get comfortable, and she says, So many of you. You say only 5?
I gave the number that's there.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. Sunk. Adventure hours. Yes, 5, madam. We find ourselves traveling down the river to Grendel to maybe push into bog.
Into the bog? You should not go to the bog, boy. Horrible.
But we go.
Horrible things in the bog.
Go.
What do you know about the bog?
Yeah.
Oh. The bog, it said, was once a wonderful, splendid forest. And quite further inland than it appears now. Some say a great wave washed ashore, flooding the lands of the bog, pushing the coast inward. Others speak of a great titan that pushed the land closer to the woods and caused the flooding.
What do you believe?
I believe that these things matter not. The bog is a nasty place. How it was made is of no circumstance to me.
Aye. So what are you doing out this far alone? Seems not to be a place to be alone with ailments such as yours.
She reaches into her pack and pulls out a sort of the equivalent of a dice bag, that sort of size, and opens it up and shows that she has all these little white rocks. And she's...
Crown Royal.
Crown Royal, exactly.
Lake Crown Royal. Royale. What are the rocks?
I
saw you dropping them past there. What are you doing? Remembering where you came from?
The Maiden, Mother, and Crone came to me in a dream. The three visages of Istus, and they told me I was to trace an ancient path from Mistvale to Darkwood Abbey, and I intend to do it with my little white stones. At this point, Jacques begins to, like, he's got a bit of food warmed up and he's handing out bowls to everyone.
So this path that you speak of, that they told you to go upon, did they tell you why? Or just to do it? I know that the women speak cryptid, from my understanding.
She takes a moment and thinks that over. And then she says, more will come to the lowlands soon enough. And a trail must lead them all the way down to the bog.
Well, here I thought you said people shouldn't go into the bog. Now it seems like you're leading them right to it.
But who listens to old women? Especially ones lost at night. And she kind of smiles at that and takes a sip of the broth that Jacques has given her, and she seems unimpressed with it.
At least it's something. And I'll also kind of mimic the whole eating alongside her. Now that we're closer to her, can I get a good look on her clothes, her personal items? Does she have anything besides that bag with the rocks?
Yes, so as you... I'm not going to ask for a roll. You can tell that her backpack is full of full of rations. Not a lot of rations, but probably enough to get her a few more days up the road. She has a water skin and perhaps like a large hat and shawl in her pack to help keep the elements off a little bit, maybe. But
it does seem like she's prepared for what she said she's doing. It's not just like she's out there doing whatever.
Fairly, but not as well as she probably should be.
An old lady. I get it. Okay.
And also, like, just the way when you saw her crouched over and things like that as you approached, and clearly has a lot of arthritis in the hands and whatnot, and no doubt in other parts of her body, that, like, a journey like this couldn't possibly be easy or safe.
Is she heading towards Grendel or away from Grendel?
Away from Grendel. She would be headed towards Darkwood Abbey.
Yeah, she's going north up the river. We're going south down the river.
But she's still on foot. She's quite a few days from Darkwood Abbey.
So you started in Mistvale, you said. Is that where you're from?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I've lived all my days there until the dream came and beckoned me northward.
When did the dream come?
She starts, like, trying to count on her fingers. She's like, a few days to Grendel, and then up the river to here. I suppose I've been walking for close to a week now. And her garments certainly show, like, there's, like, sort of water spots from the rains and things like that on it, and she's clearly been out in the elements for sure. Her hair is very, like, sort of, if it was once in sort of a neat bun, it certainly isn't like that anymore. It's frayed and tattered and windblown.
And there's no cuts on her, no bruises, no signs of any attacks?
Nothing outwardly that shows itself, no.
Huh. What's her name?
My name? My?
If you don't mind.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't get asked that very often anymore where I come from. Everyone knows me. Neva. You can call me Neva.
Neva.
Mm-hmm.
So, Neva, what did you do before you had a dream that made you leave Mistvale?
Not very much anymore. I was enjoying a life of... Well, I maybe make up a poultice or, a elixir now and then to take a cough away, but really, my days of working were done, and the people of Mistvale cared for me very nicely. But
Aye.
when Istis calls, we must answer.
Have you always followed her?
Well, she smiles. I suppose not always, but in days more recent, word of her prophecy have spread even into the lowlands, and, well, maybe a little worship of prophecy never hurt anybody.
Silas grits his teeth at that last one.
Okay.
Like a plain, obvious grit of his teeth.
Yeah, she cannot notice, but everybody else at the fire certainly does.
Faith is amazing to hang on to. That's wonderful for you. Does it make you happy? I'm looking over at Silas with just a shit-eating grin.
She says,
I start twitching.
"Nothing about my faith has made me happy yet, but I hope that some reward waits for me in Darkwood Abbey once I complete this long trek. I have not been there since I was a child."
Allow the Fellowship of Adventurers to apply a blessing. Jacques, if you could get another blanket, maybe a spare shirt of mine, and a week's worth of our rations.
He nods, nods, and then you say a week's worth, and he's like, "Oh,
I'm just going to look at him. I'll change my...
yes, of course." And he moves away to get that together. So she says, what brings you into the lowlands, Knight of the King and
Madam Neva.
and friends?" As she sort of tries to look about where she remembers hearing everyone last.
When some callings take you away from the bog, some callings draw you into it.
She looks away and hums one last time. She's like, lost in some kind of thought over that.
We're supposed to be finding some shrine to Istis. Is there something that you would like us to take there for you? Or her?
She says, oh.
Nailed it.
You'll need an offering, she says, and she starts to root through her bag.
Aye.
Pulling out bits of, trail rations, things wrapped up in care to keep them dry. Pulls out her big hat. And then she's like, and she pulls out a bundle of twine. And she reaches out in your direction, Grenna. And it is a simple ball of twine wrapped around a twig. And she says, the Lady of Prophecy always appreciates things like that.
Aye, I would assume so.
Thread. Oh. Real life -1 wisdom.
We'll make sure that this gets to her then. It'll be part of the offering that we leave. We're not going to take it and claim it as our own.
Yes, and tell her I lay the stones for her path to the bog.
Aye. Does the bottom of her clothing look tattered? Like, is it actually tattered?
Yes.
Would you mind if I did something really quick, ma'am? And I'm gonna take out my knife very quickly and just very gently reach for like the farthest piece of cloth on the bottom of her hem.
Okay.
And cut a small piece of it off, like a strip.
Okay.
I'm going to tie that around the twig as well, so it has an actual piece of her with it.
Okay.
So when we give it as the offering, it's not mistaken.
Okay.
Because in Grenna's mind, she wants to be so very, particular for these gods.
Sure. No, I think
She'll
that's
tie it around and then she'll put it in her bag.
excellent. Excellent. With that, she finishes what food you've given and wraps that blanket, the extra blanket that you've given her, a little tighter about her body, and you can see she starts to hunker down a bit, like she's going to doze off, and then she looks at all of you with no more focus than she has for the other parts of the evening, and she says, "May your threads be long." And then she rolls sort of over on a hip, and you can hear her very quickly fall into sort of a deep sleep, just sort of breathing long, heavy sighs.
As soon as she starts to drift off, Silas just kind of leans back, kind of relaxes a bit now, and he's kind of near the campfire.
Okay.
Prophecy.
Pull up next to Silas and kind of nod for Drenna to maybe swing by. Jacob, kind of get tight, kind of speak under our breath a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of come into the triangle of trust.
We've been moving kind of fast for the past week or so.
Aye.
There's a lot going on.
Starting to see that as well. Where do you all sit with it right now? What is on your minds?
I think the center of the gravity is in the bog.
I would say so.
So we're all in it together still.
Right.
I'm looking, just assessing, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah, like I'll say the demeanor on Grenna is very, very engaged, very okay, very calm, cool, and collected. Like, doesn't seem, shifted by any of the news. Doesn't seem uncomfortable by the woman or what she's had to say. Just a little bit. There's a bit of like concern behind her eyes. I'll say that you can notice, but it's not concern for well-being. It's just concern for the unknown.
Silas is kind of the opposite. You can kind of see he's quite unbothered. He's the terms, again, prophecy and the mention of the prophecy and doing something for Istis and all this stuff. It just he's agitated, and it's quite his patience was running thin with the woman. So
Grenna's gonna lock eyes with you.
I did not mean to be short with her, but I have questions that need answered, and
No.
based
Can you
on
share
what we
those?
saw intestinal.
Could you
Like,
share
does
those
Does
with
faith
us?
make you uncomfortable?
Faith makes me quite uncomfortable.
Why?
Jakob sort of leans in on this too.
Jacob.
I'm gonna glance over at Jakob and kind of understanding, especially being where he is, but I will kind of glance over at him and then back to Grenna. My fate is my own. My fate has
Aye.
always been my own. Not some goddess, not some worship, not some gifts given by the divine. And this prophecy, all it has done is driven those mad all around them. It has
Aye.
caused more problems than it has good.
I would agree.
And now with everything that we saw with intestinal, and they comfort children.
Aye, that was quite uncomfortable to hear on the ride. I was not expecting that. I have friends in Tesnol. I've visited there many a time throughout my life. What I'm concerned with is the use of faith to cause harm. Seems like that has already been in the plan. It's already been weaved, so they say, and I find it quite perplexing that those who are part of faith, pillars of faith, but allow those to believe to sink into such terrible darkness. It
Jakob
doesn't make sense.
says, I can understand your hesitancy. Please know, Silas, not all gods and their worships predict that you are without your own choice, your own will. Those that believe in the prophecies, the fate that Istis weaves for us, that is not how all faiths guide their flock. My brothers and I believe that Orion lights many paths for us, and that we need only choose which one we wish to walk. We do not believe in things so rigidly lined out. And I have known priests and priestesses of Istis who although they believe in their goddess's ability to tell of things to come, these things are not unchangeable. And in some cases, I have known priests and priestesses of Istis to, in fact, shine a light, let's say, on an unfortunate outcome for no other reason for men and women to step up and change that outcome.
Aye, like they did for the fire fever, right? You could see he kind of leans in a little closer. Do you know what I saw when I first met my master Astus? When I took his name? Death. A plague. A city burning. Not from flames from nature, but not from flames made by some sort of terror or monster, not by the abyss, not by any other magic, not by anything. I saw it burn from the inside children's eyes as they wept, as I wrapped their bandages, as I wrapped their bodies, held them together by the skin of their bones and teeth. No. Where were those priestesses then when they foretold of that? Nowhere. Nothing. And if this is the fate that was never changed, then I wish I would have been to the fate left in the dirt then. He puts his hoodie up, his hood up,
Yeah.
and just leans back.
Silas, no one's testing your faith or asking for it. In fact, faith as a gaslight is a wicked beacon. But I can simplify this. Evil is evil. Imbalance is imbalance. And I think we all have the same prerogative. There are people suffering, being mutilated in front of us, and I am frustrated as I had to sheathe my sword in front of a very awful human being. And I hope we can rid them of this area. But no, your faith is not in question. You can keep whatever you like. You can have faith in our companionship.
Agree we can on that then, Belgard.
Companions.
Aye.
Companions.
Jakob gets up to move to his bedding, and he will move close to Silas, so just Silas can hear. The others might hear, but he's not intending it that way. It's meant to be strictly for Silas. And he says, know that many priests and priestesses carry a great burden from the years of the plague. It did not leave us unmarked either. I can somewhat sympathize with you. I mean no offense to make an assumption, but I'll let you rest. And he makes his way over to his bed and sort of begins to batten down the hatches for the night. Are we doing a watch again? We set up a watch last time.
Yep.
Especially with this old lady, 100%, we're protecting her with all we got.
So what's the watch order? I think last time I had Thora, Silas, and then Vhagar, but we can do whatever you'd like.
I will definitely go first then. Yeah, Grana would definitely go first.
Okay.
Because they were not there.
Okay, and then Silas, and then Vhagar. Okay.
For that. Yep.
All right.
I haven't found my voice for this character yet. It's coming, so you're gonna get plain Tim until it registers.
That's okay.
Sometimes it takes a minute. I get it.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So
Just try to do the upright, like, hello, welcome.
So Grenna, your watch comes and goes. Silas the same, and Vhagar. As the dawn comes, as light begins to shine in the east again and filter across the camp, an overcast sky reveals itself in the dawn light, and Vhagar, Jacques is up getting camp broken down as quickly as possible so that you can get going again, and checking on the horses. When the two of you, not everybody's awake yet, but you and Jacques realize that the old woman isn't there. Her bedroll is there and her blanket is there, but there is no one laying there any longer.
Do we see a trail of stones leaving?
No.
No, nothing. There's no, like, even footprints.
Do a religion check. Is this thing? Let me check.
Oh my god, was that like Istis in disguise?
Was that actually her? Like,
Fuck.
was that a test? Were we being tested? I think
I just
Greta
fucking-
immediately eyes wide looks at Silas and like looks back to the empty bedroll.
Immediately, as soon as we getting up, as soon as I don't care who sees it, just discern magic. Any leftover magic, I want to know. Did I see anything?
Yeah.
So you discern magic, and you don't sense anything around except the group's apples and the black root radiate magic, and Silas. So does Grenna's twine.
Grenna,
Aye.
put those bundle of sticks on the ground immediately.
Aye. And she'll dig it out of her bag, and it's just a giant bundle of twine on a stick with her little thing attached to it. Like she just sets it on the ground. She has no idea that it's magic, so she just.
And Jacques is like right there beside you, Silas. And Jacques like, "What is it? Is it gonna explode?"
Is it
You
concerning?
get any closer, it might. Step back, Jacques.
Greta also steps back.
All right, I just want to say, guys, if we get into any combat today, we might be screwed. But fuck it. All right.
It's fine.
What
It's
are you
fine.
doing?
We'll be fine.
Tell us what you're going to do.
You should. By the way, you have your mana back.
I know.
Okay.
but
Okay.
Again, this
Yep,
is the morning.
fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah. So, all right. So 9 there. I will cast Identify on it then, on the bundle of sticks.
Oh.
It's me. I'll look at Grenna.
Oh, wait.
With me, thought he was gonna.
Shit, I can't. I don't have gem dust. Never mind. I keep forgetting I don't have access to it yet.
Yeah,
What
if a spell has some sort of gold piece value attached, if it has just regular components, we assume you have those. But how much gem dust does your identify spell require?
It says the casting components are speech, hand gestures, and materials valued at 100 gold.
We
Now,
do not have that.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
not yet. No, I completely.
Okay, that's okay.
I've reached into
That's
my
okay.
component pouch.
You're like, wait, I know a spell, and you're like,
I like
Yeah.
the thought of you attempting to do it and then being like, you like also then patting your pockets, being like,
I
never
have a
mind.
spell that allows me to discern it. All I know it is some sort of
Buddy.
magic. That's all I
Glad
know.
you're excited.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at you. Look at you.
Yeah. Oh God, I
You
love
mean
it.
This is
you mean to
great.
tell me that the thread is magic? She gave us
I mean,
magic
the-
thread.
I mean, the entire bundle here that she gave us is giving off a distinct aura of magic. Does it tell me anything else in regards to discern magic?
Did she take Jacques? Did she take any of the food?
her pack and everything is gone, so the food is gone that you gave her.
Oh,
Jacques like,
Well, we
yes,
might as
she
well-
took the food.
We might as well
Wonderful.
keep this safe. Do you want to hold on to it, Silas, or do you want me to put it back in my backpack?
She gave it to you.
All right. She'll carefully put it back in her backpack. She packs it more delicately this time, knowing that it is a magical item of some sort. It kind of makes her uncomfortable, knowing that it is magic, but we can't figure out what or why. It's a little bit of a wariness of. Well,
that'll be
we met
useful
an old
for where we're
lady
threaded.
who gave us magic twine. I feel like I am part of a child's riddle.
That seems to be reading like a nursery book.
I.
The children again. Oh well.
How do the horses look? Do we still have all of our horses?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
did she eat one too?
Yeah, like did she ride off with one of the horses? That
No.
was stuck.
This is a thing.
Don't trust the gods. Done. I said it. Mic drop.
Sure.
There's gods.
Yeah, I think at that point,
Jakob's
so I need
looking,
to bundle
and he's
up.
like, no god, just a sneaky old lady, I think,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
maybe a fae in these lands, but not that was no god.
I mean, to be fair, we are in territory, so you know I had to deal with it a lot back at Grundle. It's very much a thing. So it could have been a little creature. It looked like an old lady.
I thought that was
Either
cool.
way, I say we get the horses. I say we pony up and get to the bog, or at least get to Grundle. And
Did-
see how far we can get to the bog.
Did we find out, does discern magic? I think it does give you a little more than just, hey, there's magic here. Did you check it? Let me check for you.
It does reveal a couple things on it. So, spell 10 zone. Okay, I can detect lingering, faint, moderate, strong, or overwhelming types of magic coming from it. Spell can penetrate barriers, 1 inch of common stone, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. Okay. So it's moderate magic. Like it's not for it's
What
not
would
sort
you
of,
what would you consider the magic that Silas does? Is that moderate magic?
no, not even close.
Or is that high? Is that like
Yeah. We're talking
that's
like
low magic?
yeah. The first
Oh, okay. So this is more. This is
I
heavier.
I would say first to third level would be low magic.
So okay. So this is more than
This
that.
is stuff. Okay, we got
That's
some
more than
fire.
that. That we've got something here. Yeah.
We got hang on.
Kendall
What were
has
the
no
good?
idea. It's still in her backpack.
What were the good fireworks back in the day? The ones that would like really explode. You have to go like to like a private place to go get them. Big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right, we got-
you're sensing a fairly strong aura of magic from the thread. It's more like twine than thread. I shouldn't mix words. So it's not long before Jacques has everything ready to go. Who did take the twine
go
then?
over to
Does Silas
Hartford.
have the twine now?
I have.
No, Grenna still
in my
has it.
backpack.
Okay.
Yep, I put it back in my backpack.
Out of curiosity, CK, if I were to, could I examine? If I spend some time with the object, could I try and discern what it is, or at least gain some knowledge or insight into it?
Sure.
I see you eyeing up my backpack, and I'm just like making eyes with you. Is there something that you want to ask me, Silas?
I was curious about the item is all. That's I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm not.
This is good banter on the road. We're just like teasing
yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
We're starting to get on the
absolutely.
horses and we're starting to trot away. And I think like at that point we're starting to trot, to make our way. And she just reaches into her back and like across the horses, she just like holds out this like ball of twine to you. Like,
I'm gonna let my horse bump him as I go by.
Okay.
no,
All right.
no,
Okay.
Oh.
Don't worry. It's it's
You
not
know-
magical through faith.
You know what?
and
How about
instinct.
this? We're gonna hang on to it for now. I can't examine. I need.
Yeah,
time.
there's like a fumbling and
Yeah.
Get it
Okay.
back in the backpack.
Okay. So I'm gonna move us ahead here. We're about to arrive in Grendel. I'll just give a quick shout out to Chad again. We do have two $10 gift cards to give away to Troll Lord Games store tonight. So if you'd like to enter that giveaway, you just have to enter or ticket, and you should get a ticket. It might be ticket space 1, but go ahead and enter that if you'd like, and we'll give those away at the end of the night.
Yeah, if you click the pin on top.
chat.
Yeah, and I've got it pinned in chat as well. Good point. Okay, so let's move along here.
Music. Oh, Grendel music. Oh man, so nice. Is this Grendel? It's beautiful.
My town.
That's
Oh,
Grendel.
blue trees.
That's Grendel.
Ooh, I need an accent. Come
Oh,
on.
it's so cute.
Nestled along the rugged coast of Hag's Bay, the town of Grendel clings to the land like an old secret. Its weathered cottages, thatched with sea grass and heather, clustered along dirt paths that wind towards a wide crescent of rocky shoreline, where fishing boats sway with the tides. The salt-stained air carries the tang of the sea, mingled with the scent of peat smoke from hearth fires. The people of Grendel are hardy and close-knit, and their lives shaped by the capricious moods of the sea and the lingering presence of the Feywild. Generations have passed down tales of beings that once walked these lands. Ancient city lords, capricious hags, and shadowed spirits. Grendel's folk are deeply superstitious, leaving small bowls of cream or honey cakes at their doorstep each night, gifts meant to appease the unseen brownies that are believed to guard or plague their homes. At the heart of town stands the Glimmer Grove, a circle of towering silver-barked trees whose leaves shimmer with a faint, otherworldly blue-green glow. No axe has ever touched these trees, and no child dares climb their branches. The grove is sacred, kept by Leaflock, an ancient Trent who watches over Grendel as a silent guardian. Though rarely seen, Leaflock's presence is felt in the sudden hush of the wind through the grove, in the way storms seem to skirt the town, and in the healthy bloom of the land that borders the forest. The townsfolk speak of him in hushed tones, as one might speak of a sleeping giant. Those in dire need sometimes whisper their troubles beneath the boughs of the grove, leaving tokens of thanks upon their roots. It's said that the Trent hears all and helps when he can, or when he must.
Imagine as we're riding into Grendel and you're starting to see it for the first time that that Grenna's the one who kind of gives you the lowdown, and it's just like, and that's my home.
And
Isn't it beautiful?
the trees are clearly not like any trees you've seen before. They're very different. Their coloring is different, and their size is different. And and this picture only shows a number of houses here. This is actually a full-blown town. So imagine that these cottages, these small homes spread out, but the glade is central to it all. So it's not long before people notice your approach on the road. There's no walls here like in Tesnol. There's no ditches. Someone can easily just walk into Grendel. There's no docks.
Any of the people that are walking by,
Yeah.
Like, are we walking on dockside, or are we walking like
No.
into the middle of the town?
No, you're walking in towards. Well, you tell me. Do you think
Like the main thoroughfare, I would say, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are no docks. All the fishing vessels are small enough that they can be pulled up onto the gravel beaches of Hags Bay. And it's not long before a few people probably notice Grenna, nod, wave, smile. And everyone seems very pleased to see a King's Guard and his friends. And no one pays you any sort of suspicious mind. Just sort of nods and smiles until you come to a cottage not far from the water's edge that is very familiar to Grenna. It's sort of a story and a half building. It's surrounded by a fairly well-kept garden, and as your horses sort of come to rest outside, the front door opens and a woman comes out, and I'm actually going to let Brick describe Magdalena, her mother.
So out steps a 5'3" woman. She's a little bit more rotund, very, very bright in the cheeks, very pleasant and warm, inviting energy. She's got extremely long, kind of curly, beachy, wavy, brass-colored hair, a little bit on the darker brown brass. And her eyes are bright, like green, bright green.
Yeah.
And she, as soon as she opens the door on this portcullis, I'll just give some extra detail around the door of the house. There are carved flowers into the wood that are like fae flowers as part of like the protection that they do every night, and like leaving the things out for them. It's more of an inviting scape for any of the fae that might come about. But she opens the door, and I think as soon as she opens the door and realizes that Grenna's there, she's like the typical mom, just like up in arms, so jubilant, so happy. Oh, Grenna! And, she's running to, and then Grenna hops off the horse and runs up and, hugs her mom, who's much shorter than she is. But there's a genuine, very warm embrace for a moment. And then she turns and holds out her hands and says, I brought friends. Would you like to meet him?
Of course. Your father's out on the bay. I didn't expect you.
No, I didn't expect to be back so soon, to be quite honest, but it actually kind of worked out. We had to come back this way. So I figured I'd stop home, introduce you to my new lot.
So she turns to sort of meet everyone, and Brother Jakob is quick to introduce himself as Brother Jakob of Darkwood Abbey, and anything he can do to be of service to her or her husband, he's more than willing to provide in that regard. And then he steps aside for someone else to do an introduction.
Silas Run, a pleasure to meet you, ma'am, and thank you for having us in your home.
When she shakes Silas's hand, she maybe looks to Grenna and says, "This one needs to eat more."
Aye, you can pack us whatever you'd like, Mom.
I am a fan of sweets, ma'am. So if you do have any sweets,
Oh, that is her specialty. She's going to be really happy with you.
When she looks at Vagard, she almost has to take a pause, a deep breath, as she sees the fleur-de-lis. My goodness.
Like very, very low. At your service, madam. Your daughter is a fine knight. You should be very proud.
She smiles. She doesn't have to say she's proud. It's obvious. It's obvious. And then she looks at Jacques. And who's this? She says.
I'll look at him like we've practiced. You know what I mean? Like how to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, Jacques.
he's like, oh, and he comes forward, and tries to mimic your movements, Vagard, and introduces himself as Jacques. I'm Vagard's squire. Kingsguard, one day. She smiles and sort of falls on him with a hug, disregarding any sort of knightly protocols in this case, and says, "Well, take the horses." And she motions to a barn across the road, and then get yourself inside. I'll get some lunch together. We've got lots to talk about.
Hey, we do. Follow me, and I'll help. Stable the horses, make sure they're all fed.
Yep.
Got whatever they need.
The barn doesn't belong to your family. It's sort of like a shared for a number of the people in this part of the town. And there's maybe only a few, a horse or two in there, mostly just used for pulling plows and things like that. Nothing like the kind of horses that you're putting in there now. Yeah, and you've all garnered a bit of attention. People in Grendel are sort of poking their heads out of doors and windows, seeing who's here, and many of them, of course, recognizing Grenna coming home. So
I think, in the midst of things, like, you would see Grenna kind of like smiling, shaking hands, hugging, the couple people that would like walk by. Like, there is a very comfortable sense of community and familiarity, like immediately from her that you have not seen before. There's been a very like rigid kind of I need to keep persona up. Here, it's much more relaxed. She's kind of like more into herself.
Yeah, as you're leaving the barn, once the horses are all there, like Jacques looks at you and he's like, "Why would you leave somewhere like here?"
Because there's things that called to me elsewhere. I can always come back. And look, I can come back and it's more revered than ever. That feels good. Feels good to be missed.
Jacques, places like this don't exist if people like us don't go out on these adventures. Now, horses. And I'll give him a wink.
So he goes to tend to the horses, but Grenna, you hear under his voice as he heads into the barn. He's like, "If I had a place like this, I would never leave it."
I think she's going to hold on to that for the moment and keep it on her shoulder for later.
Okay. So
there is a moment where like she takes a deep breath and will kind of follow his line into the barn and think and prostrate on that thought and just be like, not the right time to approach it, and head back to the house with the other gentleman.
Okay. So everyone gathers in the house, and Grenna's mother is bringing out honey cakes, and she has some mead, probably from Tesnal, you would bet, from the meadery there. Berries, all kinds of good, wholesome food. And you also notice that she sets another small dish by the hearth with like the same type of food. Kneeling down, it's down by the floor, and she says a few words as she finishes that, and looks at all of you and says, "That's for Buck Talk, or Brownie."
Hey.
And she says it like,
Still coming around.
"He's never left. Your father thinks he's in the attic."
Most likely.
So, what's all... She looks at Vagard. What's all tall, dark, and handsome doing in the lowlands?
Here to visit, represent His Majesty, potentially investigate some strange activities in the bog. Visiting a shrine, maybe making an offering.
In the bog?
Yes, in the bog. We get that a lot. But yes, folks like us, we go into bogs.
I thought you looked smarter than that. Nobody goes to the bog.
We're smarter. Our leadership, maybe not.
That's actually quite accurate.
Meta. Oh, meta.
Yeah, Jakob says, we lost some friends there, madam, and we owe it to them to see if we can get them back.
Some of
Now I
my
owe it to
friends.
you.
Grenda's mother's like, now I see why. This one's never been able to leave a person in need, and she points at Grenna. She moves over and pours drinks for everyone. And whereabouts in the bog are you headed? Or do you even know?
No. I was actually going to ask you, Mum. Do you know or have you heard of a Temple of Istis in the bog? I know you have people sometimes that go out that way for your herbs and salves.
No.
You think Dad would know?
He might. But he hasn't been that way in a very long time.
No. Not since I was a child.
Maybe Thalen. And you know Thalen to be an old woodsman in town. He mostly tends to the grove now at the center of town. She says there was a time when Thalen wandered the lands. He knew them very well.
Nay.
But he's old and he's crotchety.
We'll bring him some need and make him feel better. Maybe open him up a
His
little
age is
bit.
failing.
Sounds like my type of man.
Actually, you'd probably get on quite well with him, Silas.
More than likely. I'm used to the
We can
old,
visit him.
old
See if it's
cotters.
worth it.
Certainly.
To be quite fair, I would take as much time in the town as we can. I know our visit will be short, Mom. We have much to do, but we want to try at least get as much of the bearings and understanding as we can. I don't want to go in blind. Not there.
Well, if you're going to go and talk to Thalen, then that'll give me time. I didn't expect so many for dinner. I'll go get a ham leg or something.
Aye. Dad should be back shortly, aye?
Before sundown.
Aye. Okay.
The fish have been good.
Well, that's good. That's good. I know he was worried when I left.
Not as good as in Missvale, of course, but good.
We actually met a woman on the road from Misfell. Her name was Neva. Old woman. Said that she was following a dream of Istis.
Madam, don't say you never met her before. Just kidding.
She laughs at that. She's like, Neva. You said she's an old woman.
Aye,
Fine.
quite old. Very, very old. She gave me this, and I'm going to pull out the bundle of twine and put it on the table.
I'm gonna look straight at Silas.
Your mum takes a long look at that bundle. And at one point, she almost reaches out to touch it and pulls her hand away.
You alright, Mum?
I don't think you should be trusting old women who say they're from Missvale and give you bowls of twine.
To be completely fair, she seemed quite harmless until we woke up.
They always do. They always do.
You know, we're learning. I don't like to put old women out. You know, it makes me think of my mum. I would never.
Oh, ha ha!
I don't want anyone to do it to someone else. So, you know, I'm just trying to be a good person.
Fine, you go talk to the old ranger. I'm going to get a ham leg.
All right.
You don't look like a day over 29, madam.
Under my breath, you're going to become her favorite person. I swear to God.
You're going too far the other way. She smiles and gathers up a basket to carry sort of groceries and heads into the village further.
Put the thread back in my bag as she does that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so do we go and find Thalen, or what? You tell me. What do we do?
Yeah, I think for a moment, like she lets her mom leave, and then kind of it's just us in the room in the house, very comfortable. So we can go see the old huntsman. We can go do whatever else we need to in the town, but I'd say that we at least try to talk to him first, and maybe collect what else we need after. He shouldn't be too far, only a block or two away.
This is a beautiful town. You have a beautiful family. But
Glimmer Glove. I've read about it once in a book.
People are in danger. We can come back and celebrate once we've found some reprieve for this area.
I agree. I think you'd really like it here.
Yeah. The memory of that village with the daughter and the mother and father. I don't want that to look like this. Or I don't want this to look like that.
It would surely die before I let this place burn to the ground in any sort of way. Oh.
Where exactly is their home located compared to where the Grove is?
I would say Grove center of town. If you're looking at like circular blocks-ish outwards, like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So I'm not terribly far away from the center.
You could see like the top of the trees.
Yeah, if we were to go outside of my door, you could see them very easily.
There is nowhere in this town that you could go that you could not see the top of the Glimmerwood.
I probably walk towards the window and just kind of glance up at the top and go, Jacques was right, Belgrano. It is quite beautiful.
I'd like to come back here afterwards after we figure things out and actually show you. I think you, Silas, and definitely you, Valgard. Is it Valgard?
Vagard. It's okay.
Vagard.
Yeah.
She's never gonna say it right.
Eglantine. Vagard. Yeah.
We're all getting there together.
There's a Trent who lives there. Sometimes you can catch a peek. Pretty majestic.
That would be cool.
Very.
Trent that lives there.
And I imagine like we're talking and walking as we do all this too, and she's just like, look at the beautiful town. Look at how beautiful the town is. It's so great. And I think the first place she assumes that he would be is his home.
Okay.
So going a couple blocks, streets over to see if he's home.
Okay. I'm going to say his home is relatively close to the Grove. He's not at home, but it's not long before you find him sort of at the edge of the Grove. He's maybe picking up, branches, twigs that have fallen from trees. He sees you coming, and he wears a pair of spectacles, which he adjusts.
Oh. He's so handsome.
Nice.
Clearly a seasoned woodsman. He's got a pair of wire-rimmed spectacles and a tangled mane of silver hair. He seems to be a very quiet man as you approach. He doesn't shout out to you or anything like that. He has a well-worn green cloak and layered leathers, and is clearly a fan of plaid patterns. As you get a little closer, he steps out of the wood. Not so much, you don't think so much to greet you. You don't think he wanted you to step into the woods, so he stepped out to greet you. At the base of the trees here, you can see all kinds of the little bit of wood here is just full of life. Birds and insects flitting about it. And there's something more here. You immediately feel like eyes are on you when you stand beside the Grove. He says, it's Grenna, right?
Eh?
I thought you were up there at the Abbey.
I was, and I did what I needed to do, and now I am back here as a knight, and I have a quest.
Oh.
And you're part of it, Mr. Thalen. I got a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
He smiles. He's like, I'm part of a quest, am I?
You are. My mother decided that you will be. I got some inquiries into the bog. We're kind of looking for something and wondering if you've come across it or know anybody who has. It's a shrine to Istis.
Why do you look for a shrine to Istis?
Well, some of my fellow knights got stranded while they were out on a charge. I don't know exactly what happened with that. I just know that some got left behind, and there's some things that we need to leave there. Some sense that we need to make of it.
Men and women out by the bog, losing their marbles.
It's what we've heard. Do you know why?
I don't. They stay clear of Grendel. Headed north, I think.
Okay.
They're steering clear of Grendel, but they're going north from the bog. Do you think it has anything to do with our friends?
I don't know.
She points to the grove, obviously.
Oh. Maybe. Maybe.
I just find it quite odd that Grendel is one of the closest places to the bog. Why would people be avoiding it and continue north?
Maybe whatever they want's up there.
Okay.
I don't know of
I don't know where the shrine is.
Well, I didn't say that.
She leans in eagerly well.
Well, just a moment, let me think. I don't know if it's a shrine so much as a waypoint or a place of offering. There's a...
Does it have any strange writing on it?
That'll do.
No writing. It's a large, flat, circular stone. And in its center, there's an old statue of the crone.
Just the crone by itself.
Just the crone by itself.
You've never seen the mother or the maiden there?
No. There was a time where some of us went deeper into the swamp, and supposedly there's more of them inside, but I only know where this one is.
It's a start. It's something. It's more than we had.
Well,
Can you describe how to get there, or do you have to take us?
I could probably tell you where it is, but it would probably be quicker if I took you myself.
Would you be willing to?
Well, these missing people, they're good people. Yes?
Aye. Knights. And those closely related.
Believe me when I tell you, being a knight does not make you a good person.
Well, for some it does. And can.
And you intend to go into the bog?
I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't necessary or worthy of my time. You know that much. And I wouldn't be asking you if it wasn't necessary either. I know that you're a busy man.
He looks over his shoulder at the woods and back at the bundle of sticks in his hands. Oh, yes, so busy.
It's important what you do.
And he calls back in the woods and says, "What do you think, old man?" You don't hear anything.
Greta knows though. There's such a beaming smile on her face because she knows.
Okay. I'll take you. You'll probably drown if I don't.
Well then let's make an agreement here. any danger at all, you're on the opposite way and you come home.
Oh, don't be like that.
No, I'm going to be like that. My mother would kill me if I wasn't.
I'll pack my axe and
I
my
don't want to
crossbow.
fight
I'll be
anyone.
fine.
All right, just telling you.
When do we leave?
Give us an hour.
That quick, eh?
Or so. My mother's preparing a dinner in Hamlag. All right, I gotta let her cook.
Well, if your mother's cooking, it's going to take longer.
I will then give us 2.
I'll come by in a few hours.
I appreciate it. Thank you. We all do.
You're going to be needing to be careful in all this armor and equipment in the bog. You'll sink fast like an anchor at sea.
Beautiful. Wonderful. I'll keep in mind.
Easier to travel light then. He just chats to his book on the side. Since I got no
Can't
armor
all
or
be
anything
lucky
else.
like we can't all be lucky like you, all right?
Okay, so
Whatever you could mean.
So you make your way back. We'll skip ahead a little bit here, just in the just to keep things moving. Grenna's mother has a sort of a ham stew type thing cooking by the time you get back, and it's unfamiliar to any of you that haven't grown up here in the lowlands, but it's pretty common for those that live here. And if it's not fish, it's ham in the lowlands. So a great dinner's prepared, humble but very, very tasty. Are you going to stick around for your father to come in from sea? Or...
If possible. If not, if it's starting to get like too late, like well that's okay.
So he should come in. He should be in by just before dusk, but that would mean that you'd be heading towards the bog at night. So you guys decide. I was
just gonna bring that up. So yeah, so we're as we're eating. When do you want to go to the bog?
See your
'Cause
father.
It's already starting.
We
Are you
wait.
sure?
Of course.
Reed, see your father. It would be good for you.
So we leave first thing in the morning then. First light.
Yes.
Right.
As you guys
There's like a humbleness to that for her.
As you guys are talking about that and deciding, Grenna's mother is shoveling food into Jacques, and she keeps like adding a little bit to Silas's bowls. Okay, so eventually Thalen comes and finds out you'll be leaving in the morning. He throws his arms up in the air. Fine then, to morning. Not like I rushed to get here or anything.
I don't think you did, Thalen. I think you'll be all right. Go get some sleep.
And your mother packs him some food and sends him home till morning.
Yup.
Yeah, it's not long before the sun heads down, and your father comes in with a number of fishing vessels off the bay. They're pulled ashore. Fish are pulled out and put into barrels right away. It's not long before he comes home, and when he comes through the door and sees everyone, he is shocked at first, like, who are all these people in his house? And then he sees Grenna and grins. Do you want to describe your dad?
Yeah, so my dad's like 6'3", 6'4", pretty broad man. Got a really big, kind of burly, wiry beard. A little bit longer, tousled hair. He also wears spectacles, but they're short and they are square and they kind of sit on the edge of his nose. He's very tan, very smelly of fish right now because he's coming in right off the vessel. But yeah, just happy dad to see his daughter.
Yes, very, very happy, and happy to make all of your acquaintance as well. And it's not long before he has a bit of a soft spot for Jacques as well. Clearly they have a soft spot for kids. So that night, everyone is found somewhere and made comfortable, and a treat is left out for Buck Talk, in the hopes that he might do a few house chores for them while everyone sleeps. And it's not long, you've been on the road for a few days, so it's not long before everyone is comfortable and asleep again.
So very comfortably asleep.
So you wake up in the morning. The sounds of the village are sort of getting moving. And even though some of you might consider yourself early risers, Grenna's father puts you to shame. He's up, he's made himself something to eat, and he's getting ready to head back down to the boat. He takes a moment, though, just to come in. Grenna, you're maybe half alert at this point. He just gives you a kiss on the forehead, which is something he's done for many, many years, as long as you can remember. And he says, until we meet again, you take care of these fools. He pats you on the shoulder and makes his way out and down to the water. And it's not long before Grenna's mom is up and you're all up and people are getting fed. Thalen arrives, and preparations are all made to depart. Jacques like, no horses this morning, right?
No horses.
No.
It's on foot from here?
Aye.
Aye.
So lace your boots tight.
Wait.
So everyone heads out the door, and this has obviously had an effect on Jacques, and even for like a sort of a 14-year-old boy who, is trying to very much be a knight, he lingers with a little extra long hug from Grenna's mum, and she packs him a little extra food, and you can tell he is not really keen to leave here. He's found something here that maybe, he didn't have before.
Can I take a moment with him
Sure.
after he hugs my mom and kind of comes out of the house? The other two, I assume, are kind of like maybe a.
Everybody's checking packs and making sure they haven't forgotten everything,
like doing
anything.
stuff.
Yeah.
She's gonna get down on one knee to be more eyeline level with him because he is shorter, even though he's 14.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it here?
I do.
When all is said and done, would you like to come back here and stay for a while?
I don't think I can.
I think you could. I still did what I needed to do here before I absolutely had to go to the Abbey. You could spend some time here if you wanted. Just think about it. I don't need my room anymore. My parents have taken quite a liking to you.
He looks around. He says, I swore an oath just like you did.
Okay. Just know, if you ever change your mind, you have time.
He smiles to you, and he maybe starts to say something and then doesn't, and just walks down out through the front gate, and catches up with everyone. As you guys depart Grendel, a bit of a soft rain begins to fall. Nothing like the storm clouds you saw a few days prior, but there is definitely it's definitely going to be raining today. Maybe harder than it is right now. Thalen tells you if you walk all day and really put in a good day's work on the boots, he thinks you'll reach the place he's taking you. So he says, so no grumbling and keep up your speed.
All right. Let's go.
So you make
Like everyone
sorry.
knows that you're an old timer.
Yeah.
Silas Mutter.
We gotta keep up with the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not that difficult to keep up with, but you do notice that like he has a way of like he clearly knows his way around these low hills and fields. Like you never end up having to like go around a pond. He's always taken you to like you're always already going around it long before you see it. And he guides you until at last you can sort of see the edges of the bog ahead. And a sort of mist hangs. The sun is not completely down yet, but it is going down. And he leads you towards the edges. He tells you that he's like the most common threat of the bog is the gig, the frogmen. We'll need to be wary of them. They're not particularly aggressive, but they are very territorial. They stick to the bog mostly. And Jacques listens intently as he says that. And then as you just sort of reach the edge and the ground begins to get really soft under your feet, you can make out what he has brought you to. Let me get that here. And we'll switch this music up a little bit. We'll leave our Grendel music behind for another time. So.
It was nice.
It was nice. Okay.
Oh. I know this music. Last time I heard this band, there were some burning people.
So a half sunken in the embrace of the marsh is a humble way shrine rising from a patch of relatively dry earth amid the sprawl of mist-wrapped marsh. A wide flat stone, weathered with stain of peat water, forms a small circular platform, and a series of pale reeds encircle it like standing lengths of threadwork. At the center of the broad stone stands a robed statue, carved from riverstone, depicting a blindfolded woman holding a spindle in one hand and an orb in the other. Her face is pockmarked from age, but it still seems rather serene, as though listening to distant voices only she can hear. Offerings have been left here. A bundle of twine lays on the stone. Tarnished copper coins lay about, and damp parchment marked with questions hang from branches of nearby trees. Water-stained prayer ribbons that whisper when stirred by the marsh's wind. Soft, uncertain answers for those brave enough to ask. It's maybe about 40 feet ahead of you, inside the tree line of the marsh, and the ground here is sort of, you have to watch where you step. There's areas of marshy water that might be up to your knee, but Thalen warns it could be much deeper, so just be careful. Some people say that to sleep at the shrine here, you may wake with a glimpse of futures not yet come.
Grena. That might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Phelan, that's and interesting that you mentioned that just as we get here.
Hey.
Yeah. Could have gone anywhere else in the damn marsh, couldn't we, Phelan? But
Look,
you chose the one God's forsaken spot.
You wanted a shrine. This is the one I know.
To be fair, we would have needed to find it regardless, so
He
better
takes
now than never.
he takes his glasses off and starts cleaning them with a plaid colored green plaid scarf.
How far are we from the statue?
About 40 feet, 50 feet maybe at most. You're like maybe just standing by the first sort of trees of the marsh, and everything beyond you is just sort of, think of forest with just a very flooded, watery floor.
Yeah. Can I start feeling my way very carefully with each step and get myself to the base of the statue?
Absolutely. I'll do this. I know that this is going to cause everyone to have a heart attack.
Damn it.
Of course it's a battle map.
What?
Why wouldn't it be?
But if Grana's moving forward, I'm not gonna overtake, right? But I'm gonna back and left by like 10. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm looking beyond this thing and around it as she's looking at the thing. Does that make sense? So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just going to drag our NPCs out with us
Full
too.
scan, offensive scan, neutral.
Taking a neutral position. Taking a neutral position.
Taking a neutral position.
So I will tell you if you hit like really flooded ground, but for the most part, you can assume that it, like if you can tell from the map sort of where the little bit of dry ground is, like up ahead here, the waters beside it are never above your knee. Can everyone see this map? Have I got everybody's vision working?
No, it is still black.
Okay.
I have no vision on this map.
Double checked. I tried to reload and I couldn't see it. I could see it on the stream, but I can't see
Okay.
it.
Yeah, we don't have.
Let
we have the Fog of War still
let
up.
me see why that's doing that. Dynamic lighting is on. Oh, I know, because it's probably. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, this is cool.
This is the best part of all time. Yeah.
Oh, this map
What?
is really, the perspective of this map is amazing.
What are those? Are those just like
Trees.
trees?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are trees. That's the perspective of the tree trunks coming down. We're at like a top-down angle, but it's kind of askew. It's really cool.
Is that Grana?
Holy
Grana with the
crap,
black hair?
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Wait. Me?
This
Yeah,
right here?
I just moved my, that's me. Oh, and the dynamic lighting oh, this is cool. Okay. This is very cool. Sorry, I had a
Oh
moment.
my god.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you
I see
move,
what you
it
mean
does
by
a
yeah.
thing. It's so
Oh my
cool.
god, that's tripping.
I love maps.
Guys, this has now become
Okay.
officially just a learning roll 20.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I want to start making my way this way, like this
Yep.
way here.
Yep.
Let me set the mood in my room. There we go.
Okay.
Green light.
Gonna continue to move at a diagonal, but I
Yep.
would like to get here. This is where I'm trying to get
Absolutely.
to look and see if there's any inscriptions on the base.
Yeah.
If there's anything in the stone itself
Okay.
at the base of it.
So as you make your way over, you realize that if this is how walking is going to be through the marsh, it's going to be slow going. As you sort of trudge through the mud and whatnot. Yeah, once you get there, there's nothing written on the stone itself. There's no runes carved into it or anything like that. You have a better look at sort of the offerings, and like I said, there's a number of bundles of twine similar to what you were given.
And this is the time where I'm gonna take that twine as well. And if there's other ones, I'm just gonna set it down.
Okay.
And when I do, I'm going to just kneel very quickly as I set it down and outwardly say, "This is from Neva to you." We bring it as a form of gift and offering. Do not be confused with our own.
Thalen says, Neva. You say someone named Neva gave you that?
Aye. Old woman. We found her. Outside of Grendel.
Blind old woman.
He has a look of worry on his face.
I'm like, I haven't set it down yet. So I'm like, just.
I'll look at Greta and nod. Like, oh, I have spells. Divine, wait, aura.
He says, the old tales speak of Neva.
Oh, shit.
I don't set down the twine. I put it in my lap. I'm still kneeling, but it's in my lap.
He says,
I will burn this. I will burn it now.
He says, you know,
Divine.
you've heard of Gwen.
Aye.
The lowlands. I mean, they don't call Hag's Bay because it's a nice place. There's...
Oh no. Oh no.
Gwen had a coven in ages past. There was Granny Nightshade, the lead of the coven, and she had 2 hags under her, Gwen and Neva.
Whoa.
But the tales say that Gwen turned on Granny Nightshade and her sister Neva, killing them both.
Well, this woman we saw was not dead. At least did not appear to be. She had a bag of stones. Said that she was following a dream from Istis herself. The 3 of them, the mother, the maiden, and the crone, told her to walk an ancient path. And she would leave him on the path. That's when we found her. Outside of Grendel. She came from Misfell.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't be trusting a woman named Neva in these parts.
No?
No.
Can I detect evil?
Absolutely. Are you
At that point, she puts the bundle back in her backpack.
Are you scanning around, sensing evil?
Like on the dais itself?
On the dais,
Yeah.
there's no evil coming from the statue or the dais, and no evil emanates from any of the party here. Okay, maybe a little from Silas.
Yeah, a little bit of questionable energy.
I'm going to say, though, Vegard, as you're scanning, you notice something laying in the reeds.
And I'll walk over and, peer and just have my hand up, like...
Are you going on the platform, or do you're staying off the platform?
I'm moving off the platform to see what's in the reeds. Can you give me a dot so that I can walk over there?
Yeah, I'll do better than that. I will, here we go. You find a man lying dead amongst the reeds.
That man's still no tells.
But detect evil? Did that get me to it, or I saw it?
The detect evil, just as you're scanning around with your detect evil, you notice it. As you get a little closer, you can see that it's a rather bloated corpse that's been out here in the elements for a little while, lying in amongst the reeds. It's dressed in a torn tabard of Darkwood Abbey.
Steve. Yeah.
And around the body are scattered pages in the water. They look like they've been torn from a book.
There you go.
Point
What
at
do you
Grenna,
find? What do you
and
see?
I'll point at Grenna and Silas and just point at the whole area to get us all, picking up the pages or whatever.
Silas, come here.
I'm
Might
gonna
be
keep
interested in
walking
these.
out and look out though. As they're, investigating that, I want to continue my outward scan. Like Grenna's doing the, you know what I mean? Like it appeared that she was doing the inside. I want to investigate stuff. I'm gonna do and I'll look over. Did you already put the offering
I put it
down?
back in my backpack. I did not put it on the dais. I put it back in my backpack after he said I wouldn't do that.
It sense any evil, even amongst this body or anybody in the party.
Yeah, nothing.
So
Yeah, nothing.
I think once we investigate a little bit more, it's safe. Well, I can't give 100% guarantee, but I think it's safe.
Hey, let's figure out what's going on here first before I just start putting things down that might have been given to us by a hag.
Where are the pages scattered around the bloated body?
Yeah, they're all laying in amongst the reeds and in the water.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go.
Do you want to pick those up,
Not
Silas?
paranoid at all. Silas would love to pick up the pages.
Okay.
Mo, on the other hand, 50-50 about
Okay. Well, are we going to pick them up? Who wins this battle of Mo or Silas?
The problem is Silas is a know-it-all asshole. All right, I'll pick them up. I'll pick up some. Start very carefully, very gently,
Okay.
really nicely. Just one.
All right. The pages have all been in the water a long time, and there was ink on them, but you can tell that the ink is either washed away or it has muddied and blurred on the page so much it's impossible to tell. But you can tell that there's sort of only half pages, like they've been ripped out. It looks like they were torn out of a book, sort of haphazardly.
What you got over there?
A bunch of nothing, unfortunately. It's tough to discern much about them, but
You guys hear that bird?
yeah, I've been
There's
listening
lots
to
of birds
at
around
least the
here.
last 15 minutes.
It's very birdie.
I think we're saying,
The statue itself, since I'm still around the dais,
Yeah.
Does it look to have been like tampered with, or that it has any moving parts? Like, does anything look like like it has some, like an arm has like a little
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
part because it moved? Yeah, she's like
Why-
looking to see if there's something involved with the statue.
Why don't you give me an intelligence check?
Yeah, let's roll.
Let's roll some
Trying to find
dice.
something to roll.
Let's roll some dice. My dice are still packed away, so I'm gonna roll on here. Character sheet. All right. You said what did you say?
An intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
I
no.
rolled an 8.
Grenna doesn't see anything that looks like it could move.
Okay. The statue looks pretty solid, pretty statue-like. I don't think that this is as questionable as we may have thought it might be. I think it might just be for reverence, truly.
As Vagard sort of has pushed out a little bit into the bog there, the water's gotten a little bit deeper, and your boot snags on something firm under the water.
grabs firm thing.
As you reach down and pull it up out, it raises up out of the water, and you're holding on to a rib cage.
Oh, okie dokie.
You find anything fun over there? As I'm like still staring at the statue, like
Place it. I'll be like, are there any other bodies or anything like that around? Like, am I noticing that I'm probably in a graveyard right now.
No, you don't think so. There's nothing floating, and this one was on the bottom. And by the look of the bones, it's been here a while. Not fresh like your friend in the reeds.
Yeah, found another body, but maybe older. Clearly, the crone and our visitor from Istis, potentially Neva. When we place this thread down, we should be in some sort of position. Thank you for the raid, Jay.
Oh, raid!
We're about to fight a hag, I think. We're slightly outclassed.
Okay, so then as you're saying that, Grenna will go back. Like, she's still around the dais. She'll take the bundle back out and just kind of hold it and just kind of be waiting for everyone to feel comfortable.
Silas, can you
let me know?
Silas, can you give me an intelligence check as well?
Scared for you.
I needs a new pair of shoes, baby. Come on.
Big money, no Emmys.
Unfortunately, all the whammies. Not rolling hot here. 6 only. 4 + 2.
Okay.
Dang it.
Okay.
Oh, that one was nice.
So the sun continues to sort of go down, and it's getting darker and darker in here.
Should I just leave it?
Jacques like, should I light a torch, sir?
Not yet. When do we want to do this? Do you want to sleep? Well, huddle up. Should we sleep on it?
Like,
receive this vision. Wake when the sun comes up. Plays the thread. Here's what I think is going to happen. I have a strong feeling of undead once we put this thing on here with the amount of corpses and bones. So Tim's spidey senses. That was Tim talking, not Vagard.
Brother Jakob says that he can't be sure, but he thinks he recognizes the man in the tabard as one of Brother Graydon's footmen from the Abbey.
Is it Thomas Barrow?
So they were clearly here.
Well, whatever happened, it happened here. So I do think that you being wary is probably very smart, but maybe it is better that we wait until morning. My only concern is then we have to sleep here and survive a night sleeping here before we decide to then embark on whatever may happen after I put this down on the dais. So, is it better to do it now and then be fine afterwards for a night of sleep? Or do we potentially risk a night of sleep and get attacked and have to deal with it, not sleep the entire night?
Vagard will lean in close just to her and just be like, I was just playing conservative. I would really, really love for you to put that down on this thing. But, you know.
Every day could be a god's-forsaken fight, Vagard.
All right.
Like
she takes it out of the backpack and she's just going to set it right on the dais.
Oh, beef.
Okay. You put it.
Everyone's literally circled around it right now. Let's go.
You put
together anyways, and you just sat it down. I'll usher Silas to get up onto the dais and be like, that should be a good observing position.
Everybody's like, everybody watches as this thing touches the dais, and nothing seems to happen. But
I love that.
But Jacques says, "What's that?" And points up into the branches that sort of overhang the dais. And you can see what looks to be a book with... It's missing pages, though.
He's just about to ask for it. Yeah. I've got it. I will cast Magi Reach to bring the book down.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's a spell that you have?
You could do that this whole
I'm going to just be Mr. Fantastic and just stretch my arm out real quick.
So allows the caster to remotely move a single object weighing a maximum. Does it weigh more than 5 pounds?
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Okay.
While we
Yeah,
have everyone here from the raid, I just want to give a quick shout out. If you would like to enter our giveaway for the end of the night, you can just type !ticket or !enter, I believe also works. And it's pinned in our chat. We're doing a giveaway of $10 off the Troll Lord Games store. So feel free to get in on that. Okay, back to you, Silas. Sorry.
I forgot there is a range. 25 feet.
Oh, you can get it then. It's about,
Okay, then yeah.
It's about
then I will
15
cast
feet above the
Master
dice.
Yep, and I will bring the book down towards me.
Okay. When you get it in your hands, you can tell that it is a partially burned journal and a number of pages ripped out. But some pages are still legible. I assume you're reading?
Yes, I'm just,
So
man, other than may or may have not used.
Jeremy's playing the keyboard booting song.
there is a page. There's a page that says, "She whispers to us, the dreams are the path. Two sides to every coin. The eye of Istis is upon us, but why?"
Any chance we can copy pasta that one into Discord?
I will totally put that in.
Thank you, my lord. I feel like that little guy we want to keep.
I can't put it into Discord right
Read
now.
that out loud.
I'm gonna put it. I will put it into the Roll20 chat though.
Thank you.
She whispered. So first of all, there are a couple pages of just general notes of their journey from Darkwood Abbey to the edge of the bog, and then this page is the last page that was not ripped out, and it says, "She whispers to us, the dreams are the path. Two sides to every coin. The eye of Istis is upon us, but why?"
I think we have to sleep here for the night. Old man, Thalen, you said that strange things happen for those that sleep around this area, is it correct?
Yes.
Have you ever slept here before?
No. Is that the intention?
Unfortunately, it might be.
Unless you feel like leaving by yourself to go back home. You brought us here, that's all we needed. Don't want to put you at risk.
You intend to go deeper into the bog?
Aye.
I'll look over at him and go, two sides to every coin, after all. I love role-playing, everybody. Fucking love it.
That was a good
I
one.
live in this world now. I'm done with Earth.
He
Get out of here.
he doesn't respond to you.
Jacques, we're not sleeping with light tonight. We'll sleep together.
As he fights off the black flies, he's like, "A fire would keep these away, Vagard."
Yeah, but it'll bring in the gigs. We need to not disturb their territory.
Aye.
We want a direct line. If we run into their village, we don't want to show any disrespect and try to disturb the least amount of Cerulean. I don't want to say Earth. Disturb the least amount of their bog.
Well, how am I supposed to cook if I can't have a fire?
We can eat things raw, or we have
We have
hardtack.
rations.
Yeah.
Aye. We'll just take our rations tonight.
My voice.
Sometimes we
coming
must
in.
make sacrifices. Shock.
Doc, one other thing. I want you to,
Big spoon, little spoon.
if you are around us or you hear anything or you notice anything, wake us up. Maybe we can't come to, or things start moving and happening. To understand, boy. Okay.
You're kind of freaking me out, Silas.
Well,
Unless
you
it's
know
that bog
what I'm
pigeon.
wearing, Doc. All right.
Okay, so are we making camp on the dais?
Off the
100%.
dais. Yeah, no,
So-
let's not camp on the statue. That seems so disrespectful. There's all these offerings we'd be sleeping all over.
There is this strip of land. There is this strip of land down the edge of the dais.
Yeah, like let's
Dais.
yeah, we'll lay head to toe across the entirety of that small bit of land.
Okay. All right.
I would like yeah, I'm gonna sleep exactly where I am on that patch because there is something about sleeping under the statue of a deity that seems really appealing to me outside of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay right there.
Prone.
I think I'll get on the opposite side of you, almost like a little bit to the east side of it, and just kind of at the same thing, kind of eyes on.
Yeah, there's a tree in the center of it, and that's sort of what's giving any sort of strength to the dirt. Like the roots of the trees are holding the dirt all
Yeah.
here. So everyone's sort of huddled around the tree. And
This is a good guys. This is good bonding. This is fellowship right here. This is. We're never gonna forget this. I mean, I get the blue trees are pretty tight. We're gonna remember this tree.
All right, Vega,
I
we get it.
I'll just look at him like, just trying to raise morale, just a tad.
so you, who is? Are we taking watches? Same watches as before.
Yeah, same.
So we've got
Take
Grenna,
one person.
Silas, and then Vagard.
We
Okay. Um. So Grenna, you're on first watch, and the marsh just kind of comes alive at night with sound. All kinds of like big old bullfrogs and bugs buzzing and things like that. There's a few like fireflies that flicker and pop around the camp.
Do the bugs seem to be avoiding the statue?
No,
or
not at all.
There's nothing that seems to be avoiding the presence of it. Okay,
No.
cool. She's just staring at it. I think for her watch, if it goes uneventful in the environment besides just it becoming alive, she has like a weird conversation with the statue.
Okay.
I don't want to go too heavy into time, but it's very much
I
the
think we're
lines
all
of-
here for it, so go for it.
Okay. So she's gonna stay. So she's basically like sitting with her back against like a rock or something, with her knees on her with her elbows on her knees, and she's just like sitting like this, staring at it, trying to decipher the meaning of why just the crone is here and what that could mean. And I think she looks up at the statue and she goes, "You wouldn't be without your sisters. You wouldn't be left alone. You're not alone. So where are your sisters? And why are they so far from you? With all the gifts, with all the things that people bring reverence to you for, why is this the path? Where's the madness coming from, and why? If you want reverence, if you want faith, why bring fear into the equation? It don't make no sense." And I think at that she kind of like goes back into herself and
Okay.
just kind of stares up and around and just is trying to make sense of this very cryptic situation that they're in.
All right. You wake Silas up eventually for his watch. By the time Silas gets up, the warm waters of the marsh are mixing with the cool airs of the night, and Silas, a heavy fog lingers over the camp as you begin your watch.
I'm sorry about the warm parts of the swamp.
Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Lean up against the trunk of the tree, kind of just glance at the statue itself, glancing back at the body, back to the statue.
Yeah,
Take out that book.
the body just lays there in amongst the reeds on the other side of the dais, unmoving. the two moons every so often peek through the clouds overhead. The rain never really got heavier than just a light, rainfall. And for during your watch, there's no rain at all. And the white moon is not to be seen, but the little orange moon is. It casts sort of a very dim glow down into the marsh here. There are a couple times you think you hear things out in the marsh, but nothing comes of it. And you're like, you just wave it off to being, maybe a little too on edge. There's definitely animals and things like that. Like you can hear them. An owl, lots of frogs and things like that, and whatever else lives in here. But yeah, your watch also goes by.
One thing I'd like to try and do, as we're just kind of sitting there, the pages that were ripped out.
Yeah.
You said the writing it's just blurred.
Yes.
But there is writing on it.
Yes, very much so.
I'm gonna take the pages that were on the book and just repeat that last line.
Okay.
The ones that we can read. She whispers to us. The dreams are the paths, two sides to every corner. I'll try and read arcane script against the words on the pages.
Okay. Sorry. I'm ruining your. You have
I had no idea. So I'm like, you can do that?
You're having a great character moment, and I start laughing because everybody's like,
and nothing's gonna happen of it. That's the reason why he's laughing, because nothing's gonna occur from it. That, or I just cracked the code. Either way, whoop-de freaking do
yeah.
Here, everybody.
Nothing happens. Nothing comes.
Yeah,
of
I had
it.
a feeling. Yeah.
It's a very good thought, though.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Very good thought.
Spaghetti at the wall at this point. All right.
Vhagar,
No, I love it.
you get up for your watch. The
Silas, you have dreams about people talking to the hag, the crone, and like someone reading arcane stuff. I had the weirdest
As he gets
dream.
up, I'll look at him. I don't know who you're talking about.
Vhagar, again, a heavy fog lies over the bog in your camp. Doing anything during your watch?
It's acting evil. It's, pushing out some aura. I'll stand up though and stand against the tree, get my posture back right.
Yeah.
Like quietly start donning my armor, like just the leather parts and things like that, and just slowly, because this is kind of like the last shift, just waking up and kind of taking a look at Jacques, not a fatherly look, but just because he's my ward and I'm responsible for him. I just, I'm really proud of him being out here.
He's like awkwardly splayed over a root. You're not sure how he can sleep that way, but he manages to pull it off.
Yeah.
All right. So each of you took your watch, or you thought you did, as you all wake. And you begin to remember this night a different way. You remember, it's identical for all of you. You remember standing at watch and maybe talking to the statue or trying to cipher out the book. And then, or looking at your dear squire. And that's when the dark tendrils of what looked like hair at first began to like slither across the watery surface of the bog towards all of you. Almost like they were extending from the bloated corpse lying in the water not too far away. These long strands of dark hair. And it wasn't long before they were wrapped around an arm or a leg, and you remember them pulling at you with a strength that they should, a strand of hair shouldn't possibly have that kind of strength. And that's when you realize it wasn't hair at all, was it? It was thread. Black thread pulling you deeper into the bog. You gripped at stone, at trees, at roots, at the very mud. Nothing stopped your eventual pull to the west and into the water. And each of you remember sort of the cold water rising over your shins and your thighs and over your waist. And you screamed at your friends, but in all cases, no one heard you. Until finally, you were just like, all that you have above the water is your head. And each of you saw the old woman's face then rise out of the water beside you. Her tangled hair matted against her. She leans in and says, "Your answers await in the bog, and I will guide you there. Follow the thread. Follow my thread." And then you felt yourself get pulled under the water, and that's when you've woken up now. As the three of you wake, you can hear Thalen grumbling. He's like, "Yeah, some watch you'll fall asleep on and then leave us to die out here." And Jacques has a small fire going, and he's like, "Get to it. Got tea warming. We've got a long hike ahead of us, I would assume."
So sorry. I had the craziest dream.
Silas wakes up coughing, I think.
Yeah, there's a panic. There is a massive panic wake up, like.
Witch head, bog, gross hair.
You too.
That way.
And all three of you sort of instinctively feel a pull in a direction into the bog.
We need to go.
Like you know the way.
Up, Jacques, douse it.
He's like, "We just had the tea. It's almost warmed up, sir."
Put it out.
As he says that, an echoing croak comes from the fog within the bog.
In Liam Neeson voice.
A great croak comes, attracted by the tea kettle boiling away there. And give me a second to get this ready, and we'll do this.
No. Oh yeah.
Of course they're gigs. Why wouldn't they be?
It was the tea! Damn it, it was the tea!
Whole time.
The whole
Jacques, we're talking
time!
about what you put inside the tea. Damn it.
I still can't get over this like shifting of the shadows and trees. Like it's so cool. That's so cool. Battle maps are sweet. Oh, those are huge! I'm so tiny!
So you can't see sort of under them as these two large frogs are dragging their bloated bodies through the water as they come towards you. And as they see all of you, as the fog is starting to part, they let out this, enormous roar. And you can tell that frogs that should not have teeth clearly have teeth. So, we're going to do party initiative again. So one of you will roll a d10 and add 1. And add your dexterity bonus. And that will apply for the entire party for that round. And then we'll have someone else do it each round. And we'll just do like one side versus the other side. And we'll just go back and forth. So who would like to roll for your party first?
Not me.
Rick,
What do you do?
I was about to say, you were out last time.
I don't have great dexterity.
I mean, I think
I got nada. Yeah, so it'd be a D10 with flat. So I can do it. That's totally not a problem. But if anybody has dexterity, I would probably have them go first.
Does Silas have bonuses to it?
No, I'm just 0.
All right, then I'm just gonna do it. Let's roll 1d10. I got a 6.
Okay, and I gotta roll my d10.
It's not bad.
I got a 4. I got a 4. So you guys are going. So you can react first as these large frogs approach through the water. Who would like to go first? You can scale your turn any way you'd like. You can have, if you want ranged people or spellcasters to go, you guys decide.
I'm hands in. I have no range, so I have to run up. So if I go, I'm gonna be running.
Now, I'll make matters worse. Your movement in the bog is half, so you're only moving.
Yep.
And remember, you can only half move and make an attack. If you move more than half, you can still attack, but you will have done a charge, and that will lower your armor class, but also give you a bonus to hit. Okay?
If you do that, I'll pop in on your left and soak up that other frog.
Yeah,
One
that's
frog at a
the
time?
plan. Yeah, I want to go towards the right one. How far can I move? It's half movement, so how far does that actually?
Yeah. So I'm going to give you two squares, so you could do 4 on a charge.
Okay, so I will charge.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4 to get right next to it.
Yeah, I love that. And you want to give me an attack?
Yeah.
Whatever your bonus to attack is, you can increase that by 2 for charging.
Okay, so this, and then I have to add 2 to this, so it's 16 to hit.
Okay, 16, that is a hit.
Okay, and then it rolled the damage at 7 damage.
7 damage, nice.
With a short sword.
Yeah.
To be specific, I used my short sword.
So as you strike it in the side, its warty skin cuts with your blade, but it's certainly got a tougher hide than maybe you expected. But you did hit it.
A bit tougher. I got it, but tough boys, tough big boys.
Who would like to go next?
Go for it, Silas.
Okay, I'm sure that works. For now, I think I'm just going to Magi Missile for sure, and I'll do the same one that it was attacking Brennan with.
Okay.
So, 4 plus 1, 5 points of
5 points.
Magi Missile damage. Yeah.
Nice. So your missile flies across the bog and strikes it. I'm gonna have Jacques scurries forward onto the stone here and prepares his spear. He does not go any further than that, any closer than that, though. How about Vagard?
Granna charged, I'll charge as well, but I'll get on the left-hand side just to doing paladin stuff. I'll charge up, and if I can swing as well, I will.
Do it.
18, 18, 20, 21.
That is totally a hit. How much damage?
on, baby. It's not plus strength, plus 2, 10.
Nice.
Max damage.
Oh, what a hit. The impact of that just pushes the thing back in the muck and water. And it did not, you can tell it did not expect such an attack to come from you. Okay, Thalen fires his crossbow. Does not hit, unfortunately. And our dear brother Jakob comes up beside Jacques and holds the line with them. Both of them, their shields up. So this frog is going to attack Vhagar following that hit. So Vhagar is your armor class is lowered by 2 because you charged. Okay.
Okie
And it gets a 15.
bring it up real quick. Sorry.
Yep, no problem.
I was in the map. AC 16 minus 2, 14 is the AC. So you got me.
All right. So you take 4 points of damage. And this frog comes forward a little bit, and like lightning, a great tongue snaps forth from its mouth, striking Jacques.
No.
And the kid is pulled towards him and is grappled up in that tongue. So, we're now going to roll initiative again.
Grapples and damage?
It doesn't appear that he took any damage. But he's grappled, which is going to make him much easier to be hit. It's now initiative, so who would like to roll initiative for your party for this round?
I'll go ahead and do it.
Silas, do it.
Yeah, go for it, Silas.
A 6.
A 6.
Sitting, yeah.
I also got a 6, so this is going to be, and these actions are going to happen simultaneously. So any death blows will not actually kill until the round completes. So, but let's start with you guys. Grenna, Vhagar, do you want one of you guys want to go first since you charged last round?
Bravo.
Sure. So once again, I will take a winding, beautiful little stab with my short sword. Okay. No, that is a 4 to hit.
A 4 does not hit. No. Okay. Vhagar.
Swinging.
Swing. Can you see that thing?
15 to hit.
That is a hit. How much damage?
He smacks again. Yes.
Nice. That finishes it, dude. Any way you'd like to finish off the giant frog?
Now, as soon as it falls off my sword, I'll kick it off and then just point my hand with Grenna straight across my body to the other one.
Okay. Your hunter, Thalen, fires a crossbow at the other frog. He hits. Does some damage there. The coral sticks in the frog's rump pretty good. And how about Silas? What's Silas going to do?
I'm just gonna shoot that Magi missile again from this distance, kind of just still ducking, but I see Grenna miss. But then I see Vhagar come back, so I kind of swing it kind of in my hand and chuck it towards the other side.
Nice.
Just like spinning it around my hand and then just go there. It's going to be great if after all that, this is 1. 4 again. Yes.
4 again, nice. So 5 damage?
Yeah. I'm never using another spell. Fuck it. Magi missile until my face falls off.
I love that. I love that.
Shit.
Even though he's grappled, Jacques, our little squire, stabs with everything he has with his spear. Does not hit the frog, though, unfortunately. And Brother Jakob will charge in. Swinging his heavy mace, he hits and thumps it good. All right. I think that's all of us, and it's time for initiative for round 3. Who's rolling this
7.
time? 7?
7.
What's up?
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Hang on. The frog had to bite on his turn because you guys won last round as well.
Yep.
So I didn't. Oh, so you hear Jacques let out a serious cry of pain as the jagged mouth of this frog clamps down on his shoulder and arm. The kid looks hurt.
Oh.
The kid looks hurt.
Brenna.
Okay.
Frog, I'll heal him.
I got a 4. What did you say you rolled? A 7?
7.
Yep. So you guys can act again.
Charge.
Yeah. Okay, so how does movement work with this? Like, can I move through
Oh yeah,
space?
absolutely. And you can move through the
Okay.
dead frog space too. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have to move 4 for a charge.
Yep.
So I'll end up there on the other side of it.
Nice. So you get an extra +2 to hit for that.
Okay, so there are flank. We do get buffs for flanking.
You get +2 for the charge and +2 for the flank actually. So that would be a +4.
Oh, sick. Okay. So that is +4. That's a 7 to hit. Damn, I have to get my dice out. Frick this. Yeah, nah. Even with that +4, that's a 7 to hit.
Damn it.
Grenna's rusty. Grenna's rusty.
And actually, I think we may have to. So, just by having Grenna nearby, having a knight, any person friendly to the knight gains a bonus to hit equal to the knight's charisma bonus.
Oh.
And at first level, this can affect up to 12 allies.
Oh, that's right. I do have this. I do have it. My charisma bonus is 2.
So everybody will get
that charisma.
Everybody will get +2 to attack while Grenna's over here fighting this toad. Who would like to go next?
That's okay. Yeah, it's okay if I don't even hit it. Y'all can hit it.
Yeah, you don't get it, but you give it to everybody else.
Yeah.
How selfless of you.
I know.
Who wants to go next? Tim does Vagard charge in as well? Does Silas fire another spell? What do we do here?
Blast him, Silas.
I mean, this is the morning, correct?
It is.
I think maybe you should attack first before I toss a spell out, because I'm starting to run a little low on mana. I prefer.
All right. Hey, thanks for the raid, everybody. And I'll also charge in with the same. You know what I mean? With the same. Wait, I don't have charge. That's
we've got another. No, you can charge. We got another raid. Crit Hit Chronicles. Yeah, you can charge.
Shout out real quick. I gotta go kill a big frog.
Sorry, hang on, let me trust the roll.
That's 12 to hit.
Yeah.
Trust me.
12 does not hit.
Did you add your bonuses?
Did you add your +2 from Grenna though?
Yeah, that was everything.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
actually I added a lot to that.
Okay.
So the frog appears to have a thicker hide than you anticipated, and it just doesn't get through.
All right.
Silas, fix it.
All right. Magi missile again. Screw it from this distance.
Eat through that mana. Eat through that mana.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Says the. Okay. Great. 4 points of. I rolled 3 + 1. Yes.
4?
Points of magic damage. Yes.
Nice. So that strikes it. Brother Jakob swings his heavy mace. Oh. And totally misses. In fact, I'm going to say that Brother Jakob gets caught up in the fray and knocked down against this tree. We're going to say he's prone because he rolled a 1. Jacques. Jacques does not, even with the +2, Jacques does not land with his spear. And then our old hunter. He doesn't hit either.
Well, this frog was definitely the mommy frog.
And then the frog's turn. You see Jacques swallowed whole by the creature. You see just the last few moments of his boots disappear down the frog's gullet. As he disappears from your sight.
Uh-oh. What?
Initiative.
Rick.
I'll roll again. I'll roll again.
Oh, I only got a 1.
Here, I got it.
A 7. Nice. Okay.
You guys kill it. I can't. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna try and hit it again.
You don't have flank anymore because Brother Jakob is down. So you just have your regular attack.
That's a 20 to hit.
Nice.
That's a nat 20 to hit.
Is that a nat 20?
It's
That's
a
a
nat 20.
nat 20.
No additives. I don't have any additives.
No, you have
That was a
+1.
Natural 20 to hit.
You have +1. It says it was a
Oh,
19
okay,
and that you have +1.
Yeah.
I was excited there. I was excited there. A dirty 20.
20.
We'll take it.
Okay with it
We'll
still.
take it. It's a hit.
I'll take it. I got 6 damage.
Absolutely.
Damn it. So close.
It looks like it's teetering on the edge of life. Who would like to go?
Strike it down.
Do him, Silas.
No, you
go.
got no mana.
Yeah. Yeah. I got
the
4
strike.
points left, my man. You do it.
You-
Take the
This
strike.
again. I got another 12.
Oh no! Our hunter fires his crossbow
For the love of God.
and does not hit. +2. No, he doesn't. He got a 12 in total as well. Brother Jakob picks his mace up out of the mud and swings. Here, I'll do one. I'll do one here so you can all see it. What do we want here? We want advanced roller D20. Brother Jakob has a +1. Here we go. He doesn't hit. He doesn't hit.
Damn it.
Lose Jock. All right. Time to lock in.
Fine.
All
gotta lock
90s.
in.
Let's go.
He does climb to his feet though. Let's roll. Oh, the frog goes. So the frog is going to bite at. The frog's going to bite at Grenna.
Hold on. Where did Jacques go?
He's inside the frog.
He's inside the frog. Oh no. Okay, I missed
I
that.
can
Oh,
still roll.
yes, you could.
You haven't gone. You haven't gone.
I haven't gone because I was trying not to burn through it.
Go.
So are you going to cast another spell?
I've
Do you have mana?
got 4 points left for the day. At this point, when I cast this Magi Missile, that's 2 more. It'll be 2.
Okay, I'll let you know. The frog has 3 hit points.
Dude.
So I gotta roll a 2. I rolled a 2. Fuck yes. God, I love D4. Look at this beautiful little motherfucker.
Oh, I love it. This is
Down goes the frog.
Cut him out. Cut him out right now. Cut him. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
cutting him out.
Yeah, we're gonna start just hacking into this thing, trying to get Jacques out.
Yeah.
As quick as possible.
You pull Jacques out, and he is 100% unconscious. A little burnt from the intestinal juices. You lay on hands on him, and like as the healing hits him, he takes a suck of air in. He's like, and he opens his like crusty eyes with all this gunk all over him. It's like just covered in the frog's innards and guts from you cutting him out. And he's like, is it dead?
You did it. Huzzah! I look at everybody else. You did it.
Huzzah! I'm tired.
I'm so tired.
So
Yeah, I think there's a collapse after he's out. Like there's just like a collapse into the bog of like, oh,
excellent.
I was not expecting that.
Excellent. The two frogs' bodies are like these humps of flesh in the bloody boggy water now. But there doesn't appear
I'm gonna
to
turn
be
to
any
the
other
other ones,
danger.
I'm gonna make sure that Brother Jakob's okay, that Theon is okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just kind of taking stock, making sure everybody's all right.
Death to frogs. You're right.
Yeah.
Tiki Hut. Death to frogs.
Tiki, absolutely. Death to Frogs. Great album, too.
Brenna, give me an intelligence check. Or wisdom, whichever you're better at. Intelligence or wisdom.
Let's do wisdom. A little better at wisdom. Both kind of the same, but 19.
19. You feel that these frogs are not natural. Their aggression, the fact that they have teeth, and you, like, having fought well, you haven't yet, but having learned about fighting abominations with your order, you fear that there are other forces at work here in the bog.
I think with that, environmentally, she's kind of like walking around and like poking the bodies with the tip of her short sword, kind of inspecting them, and then turns back to the group and will say, "These aren't gig. I have a fear that there's some form of abomination. There's dark magics here. Something else is going on. They're not normal by any mean." And I think at that, she's like prying open the mouth to like show them the vicious teeth. You know? It's not
Maybe
normal.
we bring some of the, just in case we run into the gig, we bring a part of these frogs. Maybe we did them a justice. What do you think? Maybe
The head?
not.
You want to bring the head?
I mean, yeah.
Is it too big? Like, is it comically large to cut off the head?
It would be like you couldn't carry it, but you could drag it behind you.
Nah. I'm gonna pry some teeth out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take the butt of my short sword and just like knock some teeth out.
Oh yeah.
And collect them, put them in a bag, and then I will also cut off a slip of its hide.
Okay.
To kind of have like something physical that they can also touch of like, this is the hide, this is what they, smell like, look like, whatever.
Yeah.
They're native to this area, right? Are the gig, are they negotiable with? Can they be negotiated with?
Maybe. And if they are in league with these creatures, fuck them. But if they aren't in league, then we may have changed some of their atmospherics.
Agreed.
It's definitely worth keeping in our back pocket for now. It could help us out in a myriad of ways. We just don't know yet.
Excuse my language.
So with that, the three of you can still sort of sense a direction sort of tugging at you. And you begin to lead the group through the bog. Thalen does his best to guide you around what he feels are obvious hazards. But really, it's your sort of sense of the direction you're supposed to be going that's guiding the way. As I said, very slow going, and as the sun is starting to get low, not that it's not really beating down on you, right? It's you're under tree canopies and the bogs, just sort of natural foliage. Up ahead, you see another flat circular stone with a statue in its center. This looks more like a young woman as opposed to the blindfolded elderly, and she also has a spindle in one hand and an orb in the other.
Looks like we found the maiden.
It seems her sisters were never that far off, it appears.
No. It's actually quite comforting in a peculiar way.
Jakob says, Silas, I understand that you are not one to believe in fate, but would I be correct in understanding that you have done some studying of the goddess herself?
Astis was a worshipper of the quill, and so he took light to Orion himself, but I've had a inkling towards the mistress herself for quite some time.
Wait, something puzzled me about the first statue, and I thought nothing of it, but now that I see it here again, I have known Istis to bear the marks of the eye, the spindle, the star, and the thread.
Aye.
This orb is a puzzling item to see now on both statues.
Can the orb move? Does it look like it can move?
Do you want to try?
Can you put the thread on there? I'm looking at Grenna like,
The first statue I looked in it, I didn't see anything that moved, but I didn't get high enough to the orb, so it could.
this is how we do
try.
it. And I get down so she can jump on my shoulder. I just like,
Yep, and I'll pull myself up to it and see if there's anything going on with the orb.
It doesn't
move
move.
or
It
get
doesn't.
lifted.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay. There's
We
nothing
offer
inside
the
of it.
thread.
It's literally just like a stone sphere.
Yeah, it just feels like a stone sphere.
There's nothing here.
maybe she
it's-
wants the thread though.
No,
I'm underneath you.
hold on. Let me think.
Also,
In
this
my
site
recollection-
site is absent of any offerings.
Oh,
Okay.
no, but-
In my thought, is there any other deity that we know of that has an orb or a being that is known for the symbology of an orb?
Why don't, again, wisdom or intelligence, and I would welcome anyone to make that check if they would like to.
I'm gonna use intelligence for this because I feel like this is straight facts and
Okay.
not how to apply the.
Well, while we get these rolls in, if anybody would like to enter for our draw coming up very shortly, we're just about to wrap here for the night. You can exclamation ticket or exclamation enter, I think might also work. It'll confirm that you're entered in the chat, and we're giving away 2 $10 gift cards at the end of the night for Troll Lord Games, and you can buy a PDF from their website with that. Okay, so let's see. What do we got for intelligence checks?
I got an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Nothing comes to your mind, Grenna.
I'll give it a try while she's on my back. I'll be thinking.
Yeah, I just step down as I'm like just pondering.
Okay, so
this
that's a
lore.
natural 20.
Oh,
Naga NGL
nat
for
20.
reals. But I'm not smart though. The thing is, I'm sitting there and I'm like, brain.
That's
I'm
okay.
doing a Jimmy Neutron brain blast.
So it's not
okay?
it's not a primary, but you got a total of 20, correct?
Word.
Okay. And how about Silas?
16, and it's a primary for me.
Okay.
Good.
It's a tersh.
So
I'm like, I'm dumb. I'm real
Well, we
dumb.
both grew up in Kingsgate, so who knows?
I mean,
so even Tim, even with a 20, and it not because it's not a primary, the DC would have started at 18, and then the difficulty of this roll takes it still above 20. So that is not enough,
I'm almost there, guys. I haven't sprayed.
unfortunately. However, Silas rolled very well for a primary check. And as you look and you're like an orb, a circle, it's round. You recall that not Istis herself, but an artifact that is tied to her. You remember reading something about the Eye of Istis. And it being like a artifact of divination and prophecy. That was sort of a... Istis has kind of fallen out of favor. She's not worshipped as readily. But during that time, her highest oracle would carry the orb to note station and be able to use its powers of divination and prophecy.
Brother Jakob, tell me, the orb that was passed around from priestesses to worshippers of Istis.
I don't know of any such orb.
No, you've never read anything about it or heard of anything.
No, you know of something.
Something Estes showed me one time in a book during my studies of diving into the prophecy more, but trying to get down to the base layering of what the prophecy itself and what Istis, truth with you, what the gods themselves might be connected to. I think we might be onto it here.
You think that this is some sort of clue to finding it? Whatever it is you speak of.
She whispers to us, the dreams are the path, two sides to every coin. The last line.
So the dais is split
upon us.
Did the what?
So the dioceses are like a stone plate.
Mm-hmm.
Did they flip?
It's pretty big.
Brenna, are you a muscle mother? And I just...
Dost thou hoist?
Dost thou hoist?
Dost thou hoist? Yeah, she'll like try to get her fingers under it and see if it will raise.
Before you start to do that, you both think that it will be difficult with the statue in the center.
Yeah, I don't think that this is gonna work. If it raised, we would have been able to tell.
Size every coin. I'm stupid. Not bad. Yeah,
You could.
I
only said.
Do you want to sleep?
I'll say Jacques goes, can't we knock the statue off?
Should we? Is the question.
We can put it back.
Not if we break it. If we just
you're
push it
triple.
off, we're gonna break a statue. And if we lift it, it might be too much. So we're gonna have to destroy it. We have to be okay with destroying this. Potentially. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Did the first statue have an orb
Yes.
itself as well? And this one has the same thing.
Yeah, and when Brother Jakob sees that the second statue has an orb, that's what triggers his suspicion. He's like, it wasn't a one-off. The orb's at both. Istis doesn't have any symbology that's orb-like. So why is she got an orb? And then, as I said, you recall from your many books going through the, all the tomes about the prophecies and that back at the library in Kingsgate, you recall this artifact, the Eye of Istis, which was carried by her sort of head oracle.
Should we wait and see if the orb is on the last one, too?
I believe the third may reveal it, but are we still getting a tug in any direction still?
Yes.
Further in to the bog?
Yes. But not like you sort of came on a straight line to this. It's not like it keeps going in a straight line. It's a different direction now. Like you're being led from one waypoint to the next.
And these are 3 hags that lived here, right?
So, yeah. So he can tell...
Stay with me on this.
Yeah. So Thalen...
These aren't gods.
Thalen tells you that there were 3 hags in these lands before sort of Krullian This is before the men and women of Krullian settled here. This would be during the time of the Krull barbarians, which the lands are named after. So the Krull barbarians lived here, and these lands were ruled by a covenant of hags. The lead hag was known as Granny Nightshade, and she had 2 hags beneath her, Gwen and Neva. And the story goes that Gwen had a lust for power and killed her covet mates. Like
Gwen being the maiden.
Well,
Okay.
Well, we can inference that on our own, but that's kind of where I am at, is that there's symbology between the 3 hags
You guys
and the
don't
mother,
think
the
that
maiden,
this
and
is
the
a
crown.
manhole cover?
It could be. I think we should maybe try to find the 3rd one, and if the 3rd one has an orb, then maybe we can come back here and knock it off. But there's no offerings here, which means that I don't know if anybody else has ever found this. And I still kind of feel like we should keep going. I
Is
don't
the
know about
thread
you,
not
but
the
I feel like
offering?
we're not here.
Have we tried placing the thread on here before we go?
It's already gone back at the last one. I put it on the dais. I didn't grab it. I left it there.
Can I, just out of curiosity, can I like the orb itself? It doesn't move, but does it echo?
no, it doesn't appear to be hollow. I think Granna did ask me that. So you think it's just a solid carving orb made of stone?
Literally just solid stone. So, should we keep going and then come back? How far? Meta voice. How far was it from the first statue to this statue? Like distance-wise?
It took you pretty much the entire day to reach here.
Entire day. Okay.
And you are deep in the bog. And the new direction is taking you parallel. Let's jump out of this to our map just to give you guys sort of a bearing here. So if the first statue was at the edge of the bog, like where I'm pinging right now, can we see that? This would have led us into about somewhere around the H of Bloodhorn. And the new direction you're feeling is like out towards where the L is.
Okay.
That's like the center of the bog almost, like area-esque. Okay.
Should we? I feel like they're guiding us.
I think we
I
follow
feel
the
like-
guidance, yes.
I think we follow. It feels right.
If it's the end of the day, should we not just bank on maybe another dream and go to sleep?
That's not a bad idea either. You know, if they're
Silas,
saying
you're
the
on gas,
dreams
right?
are the path and things, maybe one of us will have a dream.
Phelan, you knew the first statue, correct?
Yes.
You've never been to this one?
I have not been this far into the bog since I was a boy, and I certainly never found that second statue.
Vagod's right. We rest here then. Again.
Agree? All right.
And we sleep.
Do we all
First
try to
one-
sleep at the same time? No watch.
I think
Phelan's like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened last night.
I know. But
No. Which is odd, but I feel like that's what we need to do regardless. I feel like we're all going to have the same thing happen again if we don't.
Brother Jakob says, if we think that you are under some sort of enchantment during the watch, I could put a ward on each of you.
No, I want this. I want to see
I think we need to experience it. I think if we warded ourselves, we'd be more lost tomorrow than we ever have been.
Brother Jakob, the book itself, it said it. The dreams are the path. Dreams. Not just one, but dreams.
Could mean by multiples too. We could all have a piece of it and put it together ourselves.
Just look at Silas and be like, that's plural.
I think we. That's what the natural 20 was there for, Tim.
That's a Vagard natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we rest then again.
Hey,
And I think maybe we might have more answers as well.
Jacques like, maybe a fire tonight?
a small one,
Small one.
very small.
He's like, yes.
the boy just wants to play with his pyro.
Yeah, that's not a red flag at all.
This This is what we call foreshadowing of character.
Yeah.
Moment with Jacques, if I can, though, before we depart.
Yeah. Okay. So he starts getting camp ready. People start setting up here to rest again. You found another patch of ground that you feel can be dry enough for tonight's rest.
Yeah. Vagard, I can't express how proud I am of you.
I got eaten by a frog.
But you didn't waver.
I was
For a
pretty
moment.
scared.
I'm gonna pull him in for like a really tight hug.
Okay. You can tell he's rigidly awkward for a moment, and then he relaxes a bit.
We're all in this together. The blue trees, the elven language on the door, things like bright green eyes, fishermen in those quiet villages. That's all our home now. All of us together are home. I'm very proud. We'll get back there together.
I think that's a good place to end tonight. I think that's a good place to put a button on it as any. All right, that was excellent, everybody.
We needed a hug.
That was so good. Oh, look at you giving a serious moment with your little squire.
That was great. That was great.
That's great.
Okay, last chance to enter before I make the draws, and then we can do a raid somewhere. Oh, Guild Superior just comes in with a raid.
Nice. Let's keep it going. So, Guild, don't leave. Go into this drawing.
We're just wrapping up, but we are going to do our draw for Troll Lord Games web store. You can win a $10 gift card for any of their PDFs. I think it has to be PDFs, but $10 off any PDF in the Troll Lord Games store. Go ahead and put in exclamation ticket for your chance to win. I'm going to do the draw in just a second while we find someone to raid, but if you want in, please take your chance. I can tell you right now, not that many people have entered. You have a really good chance of winning a $10 gift card. We did back-to-back weeks with this game, which we don't normally do. We normally go every other week. So after tonight, we are going to say goodbye for a little while. For the next 2 weeks, and then we will return after that. Let me check the calendar. I got to see what that puts us at. The 17th? Is that correct? The 17th?
No. 2 weeks from today is the 10th.
Oh, the 10th. I'm going one too many.
Yeah, too many weeks.
Too many.
You know you're running an awesome game when we correct you and want it to be like sooner.
Yeah, we're like, no, it's sooner. It's sooner than that.
Is that? No, that's not right. I thought we were. It would be the
2 weeks from today. No, next week is the 3rd.
So we will have changed our rotation then.
We did. We changed our rotation to meet.
We're off. We would need to either.
Okay, so we're going to aim
weeks or play next week, and then do 2 weeks after that to get back on schedule.
Yes.
We agreed that because of the 4th of July holiday.
Yeah.
Make it.
Yeah.
So look at us going here. So I think maybe the 10th we're back.
Yes.
We'll confirm that. Watch our socials. Hey, if you don't follow Stronghold D&D on Instagram, what are you doing? Go follow Stronghold D&D.
A lot of these folks are here.
As well, Mox, Brick, myself, all on Instagram and other social platforms. So by all means. Okay, we've had some more people enter the draw. I'll stop yapping, and I'm going to close the giveaway in 3, 2, 1. It's closed. Okay, now we're going to draw some winners here. So we're going to draw the first winner.
No, rewrote.
Okay, hold on. You know what?
Yeah,
fine. Brick is giving this up. Hold on. We can do it again.
Yeah, I wanna. There we go.
There we go. Raven Sarah
Knight, I think. Yeah, congratulations!
Congratulations, Raven! And I got one more to give away. Here comes the next one. And Dirty Dwarf.
Dirty Dwarf! What up?
I got to meet Dirty Dwarf at GaryCon, actually.
But we went down into Gary Gygax's house together to roll dice, me and Dirty Dwarf.
Oh, did you?
That's cool.
Very nice. Very nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So Raven and Dirty, we'll send those through your Twitch message box. I think we're able to do that. We've got some codes, and it might actually come from DM Jeremy. What do you care? As long as you get the code, right? That's the important part here. I'm going to see if I can do that right now. Do we have someone to raid, though?
We can either. We got, if you guys know Clementine, she's up. I played Castleton with her, or the Lollygaggers. But otherwise, if you know somebody, let me know. I am agnostic to it. They're all like. Up to y'all. I got. Do you have the Lollygaggers? Oh,
Sure.
I'm running the raid. My bad.
Yeah, it's up to you. I can't. I do not have that power here, sir.
Yeah. We'll go to Clem. She's super, super sweet.
Okay, just a second.
Chill vibes
Before we
right
do
now.
that, just let me get these 2 codes out so I know that's done.
Yep.
Raven, I just sent you your code, and I'm going to send Dirty Dwarf his. I might have to scroll up here to find Dirty. If not, oh, there we go.
Whoop. Yeah. I can find him.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I got it here. I got it here. And we'll send that. So hopefully those reach you well. And if there's any problems, certainly reach out and we can talk to our friends at Troll Lords. But I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. Okay. Well, this was great, guys. I had a lot of fun tonight. We are in for more action-packed scenario, I think, next time. I think.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, enough with mood and hints at things. I think maybe the proverbial shit hits the fan next session.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's fight. Let's get
Okay,
in.
Tim, you ready to rate us?
Yep.
Go ahead and.
Oh, invalid usernames. Is this not at? I don't have to put at?
No, I think when you do the raid command, you don't need the at.
Okay.
No, I think it's just exclamation raid space the name of the.
Yeah, and then the name. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get this figured out. If you haven't checked out Castles and Crusades, let me recommend it to you, everybody. Give it a shot. It is. I feel it's a more light system than even 5e, and we do a good job with everybody role playing here, which makes it extra fun. Okay, I'm going to push this over to the hold screen, and you can hit the raid button whenever you'd like. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you for the raids. Check out 988, and we'll see you soon.